Jason Gregor isn't just a sports guy. He's a community builder with over $3 million raised for local charities. It's craft. He's making a difference on and off the air.
A souvenir to the seats to start.
1440.
For over 60 years, the folks at Diablo Boots have been selling the best Canadian-made boots. Handcrafted in Winnipeg, Canada West makes the best quality cowboy, biker, and work boots for Diablo Boots. With replaceable soles and heels. Why buy cheaper quality like area adjusted and made in China? When Canadian-made is better. Support Canada's work with Diablo Boots for the best boots. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Canada West and Diablo Boots, the two best names in the boots business.
Does your bank do local? We do. When you bank with Vision Credit Union, you're banking with a rural Albertan cooperative that cares about the community where you live. There's no question.
Into Morgan Rogers. Rogers, let's fly. Morgan Rogers. Morgan.
And by returning millions of
Morgan Rogers. 2 goals in Mexico in the Azteca. And 2 in Miami for Jude Bellingham. 2-1 England.
Canada's up 2-0. That is the most dangerous lead in soccer.
Relax, Mike.
See that, Dan? My left eye is twitching. That's my warning eye. It'll be 2-2 by stoppage time. It's never wrong.
With early payout from Bet365, I got paid the second they went up 2 goals. So to me, it's now the safest lead.
Early payout from Bet365, huh? Now my right eye is twitching, Dan.
Bet365. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
School's almost out, and road trip season is just around the corner. But if your brakes sound like they're grinding harder than a hockey fourth liner, it might be time to visit Napa Auto Parts. Napa has all the quality parts, tools, and know-how to help keep your vehicle running smoothly and road ready. With over 85 locations in Alberta, visit your local Napa store today or shop online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
The Jason Gregor Show.
Crafty. And tonight, Grayson with a towering fly ball to center field. A souvenir to the seats to start.
On Sports 1440.
Tara Martinez. Wow.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Morgan Rogers. Rogers, let's fly. Bellingham's there once again. On the follow-up, Morgan Rogers shot. Spilled by Nealon. 2 goals in Mexico in the Azteca. And 2 in Miami for Jude Bellingham. 2-1 England.
Monday afternoon. How are you? And welcome to the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, Twitch. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. As there's lots going on in the world of sports, we are down to the final week of the World Cup. And for the first time ever at the World Cup, the top 4 teams in the FIFA rankings are in the final. And it is rare. Like they've never been close to this before. Like the closest you would have had is when you had 2, 3, and 5 back in 2014. Because if you go back to since the World Rankings of FIFA, which started in 1993, so the 1994 World Cup, you had 3, 4, 10, and 29. Then it was 1, 18, 19, 25. 2002, you had Brazil number 2, Germany 11, 22, and 40 for Korea. 2006, 7-8, 13-19, 2-4, 6-16, and then the 2-3, 5-15. Back in 2022, it was third-ranked Argentina, fourth-ranked France. You also had 12 and 22 going on. So lots happening. I'm telling you, man, like it's kind of a pick 'em. Do you see a clear favorite for Argentina, England? And then France and Spain, which goes tomorrow. Should be awesome if you were a fan of footy. So that'll be great. Also, we will touch on the CFL, the week that was, the week that's going to be, because the Edmonton Elks find themselves still in a tie for first place in the CFL Western Conference with the Saskatchewan Roughriders. The Riders, like Edmonton, with a convincing win. Edmonton started the week with a win, and Saskatchewan ended it with a big win as Hamilton without Bo Levi Mitchell. Oof, they did not look good. 38-7, and it was hot in Saskatchewan, like 35 degrees plus for a game. One of the hottest games on record ever for the Rider. Maybe the hottest. I have to double check that, but it was extremely humid. Now, it's kind of odd. Like, the Elks are playing BC this week. BC had a bye week coming on, and they will go to Saskatchewan next week, and the Riders will be sitting there comfortably after a bye. So the schedule maker, not necessarily easy at all here for the green and gold, but they're off to a good start. They're 4-1, and they have an opportunity now. You win that game, and you go into Saskatchewan in back-to-back games against Saskatchewan, the two top teams in the West going at it. It'll be awesome. So Friday night, the weather today on a Monday looks good, and we'll see where it goes from here. Also, we got it is the week of All-Stars in Major League Baseball. So home run derby tonight, game tomorrow, day off Wednesday, and then I think there's one game on Thursday, and then the league will get back at it on Friday. And, you know, this is one of those weeks where, you know, the CFL, it's funny. This is the one week they don't have a Thursday game. What the hell's going on, Connor Halley? As we welcome back Connor Halley to the show. He's fresh as a daisy, 2 weeks off. Con man, how you doing?
Doing pretty much what you just said there. Yeah, feeling good, feeling relaxed. It was a good time out in BC for a couple of weeks here, and I picked a great week to come back with the sporting world just bustling right now.
Yeah, we're gonna get your camera straightened out there. It looks a little fuzzy, so I don't know if we have to.
My new look.
There we go. Now it's starting a little bit better. What was the highlight of your holiday?
Oh, highlight of the holiday. You know, getting Benny out to the hot springs was probably the one. He's we took him in last year, but he was 7-8 months old at that point, so he wasn't really too into it this year. He was splashing around, kicking around a little bit. So I think getting Benny into the lake, into the hot springs was probably the best.
Get him in the lake, buddy. Yeah, it. You have a water kid early on. That is such it's a great life skill to have, just so you're not stressed as a parent later on, where you're like, hey, you know what? I don't have to sit on the edge of my seat, you know, white knuckling it the whole time when the kid's in the pool. So that is a nice feeling for sure. And did you get away? Did you watch? Like, are you following sports while you're on holidays, or you kind of zone out?
Had to. I come from a sports family, so everybody was throwing on the Jays games, especially we're down in Fairmont, so I got a chance to watch them play the Pods and the Giants, of course, later on in the night, and the World Cup. I mean, how can you not watch that one? My mom. We found out we have Norwegian heritage. And about 2 months ago, she had someone come from Norway to give a whole presentation to her about the family or the town they're from.
Oh.
So, of course, that was the adopted team. And how can you not with...
that's fair. Holland.
With Holland, right? I'm an England fan, so had to unfortunately bid her team adieu over the weekend. But yeah, lots of World Cup. And, man, the Elks are just so good right now. Like, tough one in Kelowna against the BC Lions, but to bounce back and then finish strong the way they did on Thursday, tried to get away from it, tried to do it a little bit, but there was so many good sports on right now. You have to watch some.
Did Donovan steal your job, or are you going to be hosting again next weekend for the watch party?
I think I'm back. I'm back. Yeah. I've heard good reviews, but
okay. Know. So he's not. It's not like Lou Gehrig just took your job and you never get him back. Yeah?
I don't think so.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, Tom Brady and Drew Bledsoe, nothing like that.
Okay, awesome. Coming up on the show today, the Edmonton Oilers roster is now fully signed, as Colton Dach was the only player on the roster without a and hey, we said this all last week. I expected a Dach sign. I thought it might come as early as Friday, but was announced on the weekend. And Dach signs a 2-year deal at $1.2 million AAV. The Oilers have a boatload of cap space. Lots of cap space right now. Currently on the roster, they have 12 forwards, 8 defensemen, and 3 goalies. Now, you could switch that out, and you could see, an Ike Howard. And if Ike Howard and Josh Szymanski are on the roster, then you have guys like a Matthew Joseph comes off. Then you have even more cap space. And then one of the defensemen comes off. You have even more cap space. So while they say they're 4.7 in cap space, I'd argue it's probably going to be more because I don't see them carrying 8 defensemen. And right now, Stastny, who, I can't see Stastny staying here ahead of Ty Emerson. That just wouldn't make any sense to me. So Stastny at 1.525 is more than Janmark. It's more than Matthew Joseph. Obviously, it's more than Szymanski or Howard. So Edmonton, realistically, I think is going to have $5 million plus in cap space to start, unless they add some money between now and the start of the season. Remember, the start of the regular season will be in September this year in the NHL. I know the schedule will come out. Home openers are going to come out on Wednesday, and then you'll have the full sched coming out on Thursday, and I won't be surprised to see a September 29th NHL regular season debut. Maybe 1 or 2 games on the 29th, and then some in on the 30th, and then there'll be some teams obviously trickling into play on the 1st. So Colton Dach will join us live in about 10 minutes' time. We got John Hodge recapping CFL weekend. We got Mike Harrington. We're going to talk a little Buffalo Sabres, kind of go around the offseason now of different teams in the league, kind of find out where they're at. We got Kevin Woodley. We got Speck, Cam Tate with the 2-minute warning. Also, you had, now, not going to say I told you so, because I never would have wished an injury, but I didn't think the McGregor fight was going to have the hype. It was going to live up to the hype and excitement that everybody had. It was 69 seconds, and McGregor, got injured. You had a lot of conspiracy theorists and everybody, oh, look, he was hurt here. He was hurt in warm-up. Maybe he was. I have no idea. But Dech, I know you're a big MMA guy, and, it's a 69-second fight. He's obviously, banged up. But when he opened up with that jumping, running kick, and he didn't, if he hurt himself in the landing, he didn't show it right away.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much that goes into that, because if he wasn't hurt, then that's just I don't know what that jumping spin kick as an opening is. Even in 2026, do you think that was going to land against Max Holloway? And John Kavanaugh came out and said they drilled it for months. Ridiculous game planning there. And yeah, I agree. The landing didn't look that terrible. When you watched it in the slow motion, it didn't look like a clear ACL or MCL tear. So I don't know what happened. I don't know what went into it. I tend to think he probably was hurt and the show must go on, but time will tell.
Yeah. Braden Schneider has signed a 1-year deal, $5.5 million. So they avoid arbitration. We also had the Buffalo Sabres avoiding arbitration with Peyton Krebs. And he gets a 4-year deal, though, at $4.5 million. Basically, Krebs for 4 years makes what Carlson makes now in 1. Still good money, don't get me wrong. I'm not turning shoulders up, whatever. You're only making 4.5. Come on. 99.9% of us are yeah, 4.5 sheets, buddy, all day long. I'll take it. But good news for some young guys who get themselves some contracts. And it's just, it's ease of mind in the summertime, and away you go. And you can kind of just focus on your training. You don't have to worry about it, because it is a little bit stressful. Now, guys like that may be a little bit different, but you have lots of players who are like fringe NHLers, and it can be a stressful summer. You don't know where you're going. You don't have a contract. Some of them end up having to work on PTOs, and it's not ideal. It's not ideal, but that's the reality. Hey, there is pros and cons to every job, and every field that you work in. There's pros or cons to both, and that's some. The other thing I want to discuss today on the program is And I wanted to break it down because, as you know, I'm a big believer. Hey, we can all have opinions. They always work better if we can back it up with some numbers. And you know, I've seen lots of people talk. Oh, the Oilers. You know what? We got to lower ice time for McDavid and Draisaitl. 100% agree. Completely agree. Now, how do you go about doing that? McDavid basically played 23 minutes a night last year, 22:59. Draisaitl was like 21:20. So I think you probably got about a minute and a half to take off of Draisaitl. He'll be around 20 minutes, and McDavid comes down to 21. McDavid's not going to play 19 minutes a night. That's foolishness, right? So where's his 2 minutes? Well, the easy one is take him off the penalty kill. He was a minute there. Done. And now a lot of people were suggesting, well, you know what the Edmonton Oilers should do is you got to get those other guys going by getting your second unit power play going. I could not disagree stronger. I couldn't. The Edmonton Oilers have the best power play the NHL has ever seen. It's been the most dominant power play in the NHL the last 7 years, the last 5 years, last year. Pick a timeline. It's been the best. And I broke it down by 30-second intervals because a lot of people are like, oh, you know what? 80 seconds, 90 seconds, then they should go to the second unit. Okay. But here's the thing. So the Oilers' first unit power play, they scored 68 power play goals last year. 63 came at 5-on-4. 2 came in overtime, 4-on-3, and another 3 came at 5-on-3. Now, when it's a 5-on-3, I think we're all in agreement. It's going to be the top unit out there. So I didn't even include those in my calculations. Like I include them at the end for the total, but I didn't include them when I was breaking down 5-on-4, which is the majority of the power play time. The Oilers' first unit is on for pretty much the first minute of every power play. And unless there's blowouts late in games, we saw that at Seattle, et cetera, but that's usually how it is. They scored a total of 31 goals in the first minute. Now I broke it down even to 30 seconds. So they had 16 goals in the first 30 seconds of a power play. Okay? The quickest, of course, they did 7 seconds twice, once on December 4th, another time on November 8th. Then they had 15 times they scored between seconds 31 to 60. So add those up, that's 31 goals in the first minute. They scored 29 in the last minute. 19 of them at a minute 1 to a minute 30, and then another 13 in the last part. Now, keep in mind that they don't stay out there for the full 2 minutes of every power play. Sometimes they're getting off at 1:30, 1:40. I don't think that's going to change. You want to give a little bit of cookies to the second unit? No problem. But I see no reason to say, oh, got to get that second unit out there in 40 seconds. Why? Do you know how many goals all season the second unit power play scored? A grand total of 3 without McDavid or Draisaitl on the ice. Because Matt Savoy scored, but Matt Savoy scored there once early in the year when he was playing in place of Hyman. And then he scored once late in the year, and you had Draisaitl, McDavid, and Bouchard on the ice, basically your number 1 unit. So that's not where I reduce minutes. Where I reduce minutes for McDavid, and the numbers back it up, is 5-on-5. Because I broke down Colorado, Tampa Bay, Minnesota. Because McDavid last year was 11th in the NHL in 5-on-5 time on ice. Colorado had 3 guys in the top 10. Tampa had 2. Minnesota had 2. Right? And the Oilers had 2. Well, they're in the top 11. The Oilers had 2 because Bouchard was 10th and McDavid was 11th. So I look at it and I'm like, that's where you limit. Sorry, they were actually 11th and 12th. Colorado had 3, Tampa had 2, Minnesota had 2. That's where I'm taking a minute off. It's a little bit harder of minutes. There's less odds of a goal, 5-on-5. The goal is to win games. I am not weakening my best unit of my team, which is the number 1 power play. I'm going to take McDavid off of penalty kill, so somebody's going to get some ice time there. I'm going to take him a minute off of the 5-on-5. Other guys are going to get the minute there. But here's the difference. You need the Oilers depth guys. Stop. I can't just buy the excuse, well, they got more ice time. They play. Nathan MacKinnon had more 5-on-5 time than McDavid. He had more power play time than McDavid. Yet, Colorado's depth guys scored way more. Parker freaking Kelly averaged 10 minutes and 23 seconds a game. He scored 19 goals on the season. I could combine Andrew Mangiapane, Trent Frederick, Adam Henrique, Matthias Janmark, and Curtis Lazar. Those 5 combined for 19 goals. Parker Kelly had 19 in 10 minutes himself. Okay? So I'm sorry. At some point, you need some bottom guys to produce a little more. Now, if your third line guys, they get an extra minute, sure, it should help them. But Kasperi Kapanen was pretty productive. He had 7 goals in 41 games. No, he played 13 minutes a night, 5-on-5. You know, Matt Savoy played 12 minutes. He had 9. Now, some of those came late in the year. He got promoted, sure. He's a rookie. You know, Jack Rossovic was quite productive 5-on-5, and a lot of his goals didn't come with McDavid or Draisaitl, in fact. So, you know, Podkolzin, another guy, he was very productive, 17. But they're going to need somebody on their third line, you know, Kapanen, Dickinson, maybe it's Nugent Hopkins, maybe it's Savoy. I don't know who's ever playing there. They got to score a little bit more. And your fourth line can't just be kicking rocks, hoping not to get scored on. Just can't do it. They need to be a little bit more productive. Because you can read the article and you can see the other team's bottom guys and how many goals they're scoring. Right? Gavin Bradley played 8-17 a night. He had 5 goals, 5-on-5. That's more goals than any of Frederick, Henrique, Janmark, Szymanski, Dach, Howard, Lazar, Max Jones. Now, some of those guys played limited minutes, so it's a little bit misleading. I like Dach. Hey, look at Dach. He scored 2 goals, and he averaged, and that was only in 8 games, by the way. That's 1 goal every 4 games. He was playing 9:59 a night at 5-on-5. So you can produce. It can't just be, well, we got to take more minutes away from McDavid and them, and automatically the other guys are going to score. I disagree with it wholeheartedly. And if you can counter why you think that they should take him off the power play, I'd love to see it. Because I can't see any data or numbers that suggest that's where I'm lowering their minutes. I'll lower their minutes on the penalty kill. I'll lower their minutes 5-on-5, 100%. I ain't touching the power play. Quick break. We'll come back. Colton Dach will join us next. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Kickoff is coming July 17th. Elks, Lions at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. It's Dog Days of Summer presented by ATCO Energy. Bring your pup and watch the game in an exclusive section. Get your tickets at goelks.com/tickets.
Hurry in for hot summer savings at Wolf GMC Buick. Take advantage of 0% purchase financing for up to 72 months on select new 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 pickups. 0% purchase financing for 36 months on select new 2026 Sierra 2500 Denali and Denali Ultimate models. Plus, huge cash savings on GMC Sierra heavy-duty trucks. And ask about the $1,000 truck trade-in bonus and low-rate lease offers. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk, elevate your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
When your project can't afford downtime, call Japa Equipment Rentals. From excavators and wheel loaders to compaction equipment, Japa has the machines you need. Trusted since 1972. Visit JapaEquipment.com or stop our Edmonton or Calgary locations.
Jason Gregor isn't just a sports guy. He's a community builder with over $3 million raised for local charities.
It is Gregor Foundation.
He's making a difference on and off the air. Check out Gregor weekday afternoons on Sports 1440.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado,
There's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection? Incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Oodle Noodle Origins. In 1864, Francis Oodle took over his dying father's business as a leatherman. He was quite proficient, but his heart was never truly in the trade. After his father's death, Oodle met a cocksure young man named Vladimir Nudel, who was a trailblazer in the popular new art of food boxes. They formed a partnership and aimed to ply their trade in the New World. At Ellis Island, Nudel was renamed David Noodle, and henceforth, the franchise has been known as Oodle Noodle.
Feeling overwhelmed by debt? Concerned about what the next few weeks or months will bring for your finances? My name is Parveen Middleton. I'm a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Edmonton. You don't have to navigate this alone. Together, we can review your options and build a personalized plan to reduce your payments and get you out of debt, so you can breathe again. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to book your free consultation and discover your debt-free future.
It might have been scraped by the snowblower, dented while door crashing, or crunched at the company Christmas party. At some point over the winter, your car was damaged and it's been hiding under a coat of winter grime.
Then come and see Robertson Body Works. We can take care of the damage and the dirt. This week only, call and book a repair and get a complete auto detailing absolutely free.
But you have to book your appointment before the week is up. Go to robertsonbodyworks.com.
I'm Tim Robertson, and I fix cars.
When I met you in the summer, so my heart beat sound.
Portions of this hour brought to you by the Nation Golf Tournament, Friday, August 28th, 2026 at Millwoods Golf Course. Golf, drinks, swag, food, and fun. Every swing supports Gregor's Grads and helps graduates shine on graduation day. Early bird pricing ends July 18th, so sign up now at nationgear.ca before it sells out.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$225. How are you? Welcome back, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Declan Kruger, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. As always, The Gregor Show brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. And stop in, try it out. Casino, sports, live dealer, lottery, instance, and more. And of course, tomorrow night, Lotto Max, $25 million up for grabs. Get your tickets. PlayAlberta.ca. Also, while you're there, you can always check out the Jason Gregor Show odds boost specials, which we've got a little World Cup player for you, some All-Star game action, as well as a CFL 4-pack on who you like. So we'll get to all of that. Now, we're going to get to our big guest of the day, brought to you by Silent Rides Charter Company, one of Alberta's premier bus charter companies with state-of-the-art motor coaches that will safely take you or your group to your next destination. Book your ride today at silentrides.ca. And our next guest, fresh off signing a 2-year contract extension, $1.2 million AAV with the Edmonton Oilers, Colton Dach joins us. Colton, welcome to the show. Congratulations on the deal, man. How you doing?
Yeah, good. Thanks for having me on.
So Colton, how involved are you, during the negotiations as a player for your contract?
Like a little bit, yeah. Obviously, you get your agents to go in there and kind of talk to the team, and then they come back to you with some numbers and some analytic stuff. But most, the agent is doing the talking to the team.
And it sounds like this was a pretty cordial one. Was pretty simple. Obviously, you want to be here. They want you here, and away you go. Have you had any initial conversations with your new head coach as far as, maybe expanded roles or opportunities, or what his expectations are of you this year?
I wouldn't really say a whole lot of expectations. We had some phone call, and then actually saw him at the rink today, so I had a good chat with him, just a little one. But yeah, I mean, obviously it's kind of the same stuff that I have for goals going into this year, and in my mind of being a little bit more trusted by the coach and just kind of get that confidence, and then playing a little bit more important minutes, and just kind of work on that 200-foot game.
Okay, so what do you feel when you say you want to work on your 200-foot game? I'm guessing, is it more defensive minded? What is it specifically that you're working on?
Yeah, I would say just a little bit more defensive. Kind of get trusted and put in those situations. I mean, obviously, I'm pretty close with Jason and watching him, how he plays, and I think he is trusted by the coaching staff. So it's good to kind of watch him and learn off him, and pick his mind and kind of just understand that side of the game a little bit more.
Okay, and really, it's what most young hockey players, guys who are gifted, like you grow up and it's offense, right? Like, and you're, oh yeah, coach, I'll think about defense, and that's not a knock. That's just, everybody wants to score. And, at a young age, it's work on your skills and everything, because defense is a lot of smarts, but it's a lot of more just will and determination than anything else, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you got to put your body on the line, you got to sacrifice and block your shot. And I think, my style of game it kind of fits in there. You're being hard, heavy, winning battles, especially at the blue lines, and just try and chip pucks out, and, hopefully the centers come with speed and let him, go down the wall. So, kind of just work on that area. Obviously, you got to have good stick as well. Intercept passes, disrupts things, so kind of just work on those skills.
Do you have kind of a goal of your off season? I know you have the luxury here of getting to work out at the rink every day. You got world class facilities. I know last time I talked to you, hey man, I get breakfast and lunch. It's unreal. But so you work on it on the ice. Like, how much of your time is spent between like skill development compared to like, can you work on your 200-foot game in the off season?
I mean, yeah, there's always different situations you can put yourself in. Like, I'd say for a lot of the skill sessions, it's a lot of board pickups, rim pickups, working below the circles. That's kind of where my offensive game is going to strive. But then there's also, the mini games at the end of the skills, the 2-on-1s you work on, kind of trying to read the player and not let him make a pass through you or get around you, just trying to anticipate and see where his eyes are going and just kind of get a good stick on puck, work on those type of things.
Colton, I kind of referenced a lot of times when I talked about it, I think he has like sneaky good hands, right? Like, you're a guy who can finish in tight. You got a player like Zach Hyman. And I know that obviously you came here late from at the trade deadline. So it wasn't like, you've had a long time, but are there things in his game or their conversation? Is that a guy where you look and say, you know what, if I want to learn the defensive side of the game from Dickinson, my style of play, Zach Hyman's a guy I should be, bugging as much as I can to work on the offensive side?
100%. Yeah. I think even, sitting down and, you're a little bored in the summer, you watch a few games, you can watch some of his shifts as well. And just one of the things I've picked up is how he uses his body to get possession on guys, and whether that's in front of that or whether it's protecting the pucks down low. It's pretty similar with how Leon does it as well. So, getting to play with those guys and watch them day in, day out is obviously a privilege, and you gotta take your time and talk to them and understand it a little bit more, and then apply it to your game.
And like that body position, like that's something that, hey, kind of comes natural. You're a bigger dude, right? Like, you've got the opportunity and you can skate well, that you can incorporate some of those situations into your game. You got a brother who's an NHL player. Are you guys do you guys train together at all?
Yeah, we skate in the fort together. Obviously I train at, like we said, I train at the rink. He trains at Premier Strength with Barry Butt, but usually you skate with him in the fort, and there's some other guys out there, but it's always good to go battle and compete, and he always likes to give me some little tidbits, so it's good to learn from him too.
You guys are obviously ultra competitive, but your brothers, you're like best friends, so it's a respectful one. How competitive does it get between you two, though, for fun in the summer?
Pretty competitive. There's been some times where I've had to walk home from the rink, or he wants to walk home from the rink because we don't want to drive together, even though it's a 2-minute drive home. But no, it's all fun. It's all good. I think that kind of helps us get better and grow. And I mean, you never want to lose, especially to your brother. So you always got to try and get the foot up on him and win.
Who's walked home more in the summer?
I think we're 1-1 right now, to be honest with you. So
now, do you find, does the walk cool you down? And if the other guy is walking and you're the one driving, are you laughing, or you're like, oh, okay, maybe I got to tone it down? How does it work?
No, usually you got to try and beat them home so that you get to tell your side of the story first.
Oh, I love it. Colton, how closely did you watch kind of the construction, everything that's gone on for your team? As a player, I think you were pretty confident you were going to sign here, but how closely are you monitoring all the moves and now that you see the roster, what you think about your team?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, as before I was a fan and now I'm on the team, so it's always fun to see and see what they're doing. But I was pretty excited when I saw both Connor and Jason re-sign. Obviously, that's kind of makes me feel a little bit more comfortable going into it and just being around them. And obviously, just super excited to kind of get going and see where the team goes. I think we got a great squad and just really looking forward to the start of the season.
Winger, could you play center? When was the last time you played center, Colton?
I played center a few games this year. Probably for junior was probably the last time I was a permanent center, but played a handful of games this year.
And how would you say your comfort level is of center to the wing?
I think I'm very confident, very comfortable in both positions. I think growing up, that was something my dad always kind of tried to instill, that play every position, try and be as versatile as possible. It just only helps you. So I think growing up felt, obviously more comfortable in the center role. And as you get older, you have to adapt. And going at 16, started on the wing in junior. So we kind of, got to know that side of the game a little bit more, and kind of any situation kind of get put in, you're comfortable, you're confident, but center does obviously, it gets you a face off right away, hopefully, and gets you more engaged.
How's your face offs?
We're working on those this summer, trying to get better with them.
Okay. So when you're working on a face off, is it as much about just the quick, hand-eye reaction time, or is it more studying guys and really learning how, I got to beat guys with size and maybe smarts as much as just with quickness?
I think that's something where before the game, you always try and look at the other centerman and understand what their tendencies are and try and figure out a game plan going into it before, and you got to read where his stick is. And obviously it is a little bit about the hand-eye and the timing of the ref, and everything's, there's a lot of things that go into it, but at the end of the day, it's just a stick battle, and you got to try and win as best you can.
Colton Dach joins us, signed a new 2-year extension earlier today with the Edmonton Oilers. And now we're into July. The season's going to start even earlier. I know the schedule comes out on Thursday, and it's most likely that, there's going to be games in late September, Colton. So obviously, the offseason's been a little bit longer, but I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Where would you be at as far as kind of the excitement? Is it oh my God, I'm in the dog days of off-season training, or is there still a lot of excitement for you?
No, I'm excited both ways. It's nice to, be home and get to spend a little bit more time with family, but it's also, you get the group chat going a little bit, and you're excited to see everybody and get back into the rink with everyone and just kind of get that, that joking around, that chemistry, and get on the ice with everyone. So really looking forward to, camp starting up here soon, but it's also nice to, kind of have that summer to yourself with the family.
How have you been able to golf much with all the rain?
A few times, yeah. Not as much as I'd like, but still get out there quite a bit.
Best round you've shot so far this year?
I think it was 76 at the Fort course.
Oh,
yeah.
Geez,
so I think that was.
Is that a career low?
No, that's not a career low.
What's your lowest round? What's your best round you ever shot?
It was at the Fort course too. I think some boys are going to give me some troubles for saying this, but I think it was like 74, 75, so around there.
Oh, okay. Oh, now why? Because are the boys saying that course doesn't count, or what's the chirp there?
Yeah, a few of them say that.
Okay, yeah, a little. Is it a little bit shorter? I don't think I played the Fort.
I wouldn't say it's shorter. They just don't think Fort Saskatchewan's got a good course.
Oh. Well, that's your home course. You just challenge them and say, "Hey, boys."
I try and bring them out there all the time. They don't want to go.
No, they don't want to go. Eh? Oh, is that like Savoy and the St. Albert guys? It's not. It's below their standards. Is that how it works?
it's a little bit of everyone. It's all the boys you kind of grew up with.
Oh no, that's awesome. Now, so what do you do for fun other than training and golfing, or is that pretty much it?
We have a lake lot out at Garner Lake. We go out there quite a bit. It's kind of nice just to reset and hang out with the family and have friends up there and get on the water when we can and do a little surfing, some fishing, some water skiing. Just kind of be a kid again.
Yeah, are you now? I'm assuming you're a slalom skier, like you're one board guy.
Yeah, we kind of my mom was a skier when we were growing up, like a winter skier, and
okay.
Her and my dad both enjoyed water sports growing up, and they kind of got us into skiing when we were young. So we haven't done it quite as much lately. We kind of drifted into the surfing game, but it's still fun to go out there and do it.
Now, you mentioned you're working out at the rink every day. Are there like specific, like when you're on the ice, how often are you on the ice? Are you on every day and for how long? And how much of it is it split between conditioning and then just like specific, okay, today I'm going to work off picking pucks off the wall, taking it to the net. Like how specific are your drills in the off season?
Yeah, obviously the trainers and the skills coaches, they obviously communicate and understand what kind of workout we're going to do, what kind of skate we're going to do, and kind of tailor it off that. But yeah, I think right now we're doing three skates a week and working out 4 or 5 times a week. So it's good. Cardio is getting up there, so that's always a good thing.
Now, are you in your conversations with coach, like are you expecting to try some games at center, or do you think you're going to be a winger?
I don't know. We're gonna have to see when camp starts, and obviously, like I said, I'm comfortable in both situations, and I just want to gain that trust and have that confidence in them.
And Colton, obviously, preseason's a lot shorter. Now this would be the last preseason where you could play more than 2 games. As a young guy, I'm guessing you're like, hey, I want to play. Like lots of young guys usually are playing 5 or 6. The most you can play now is 4. And probably not anybody's going to get into all 4 because the vets all have to play at least 2. Do you approach preseason different because it's shorter now?
No, still, it's always nice to play those games and kind of, like I said, get your confidence up. And obviously, like you said, only the vets can only play 2 games, so you're going to get a little bit of opportunity to play up in the lineup and maybe some power play time, and then obviously you're going to get some time working on the PK. So it's gonna be good. I'd love to play all 4 and kind of just get my feet wet and hit the ground running for the start of the season.
Have you been watching the World Cup at all?
I have not actually. Okay. I've watched like maybe 20 minutes of it.
Okay. Do you watch any other sports in the summer?
Probably just golf. Usually that's something pretty easy to throw on a Sunday morning at the lake and eat breakfast and kind of just sit there.
Okay, so not a big sports guy. What about are you into books? Are you into movies? What are you doing in your downtime?
Not so much books. More of a movie, TV show guy. I kind of like to just sit and chill, play a little bit of video games with some buddies.
Okay. Now you and your brother growing up, I'm guessing, played a lot of video games head to head. Do you guys still crank it out? And are you having like NHL? I'm guessing it's 26 battles between you and your brother still.
We never really did it, to be honest. We were outside quite a bit growing up, but right now we love doing like a franchise mode thing on NHL. So he'll come over. We'll have another one of our buddies come over and kind of just pretend to be a GM and try and see how many Stanley Cups we go in.
Okay, and now when you play the team, is Colton Dach always drafted on your team?
Oh, always. You always got to get Kirby and Colton. Yeah, we always got to fit those 2 on there.
Okay, well that's fair. Now, how's your ranking? Is it accurate? Do you feel they've shortchanged you in any place?
Oh no, these 2 guys like to have a lot of fun. They love signing me to an 8-year, $1 million. So it's kind of funny.
Oh, so GM mode, you actually sign all the contracts for players and everything.
Oh yeah, no, you do everything.
Did you guys throw out an offer sheet similar to Carlson's?
I don't know if you can do offer sheets. You might be able to. I haven't figured it out, but my buddy would know.
You guys aren't playing the full mode yet. If you haven't done offer sheets, kind of missing out on something. That's kind of a wild time in the NHL when you see an offer sheet like that. Like, good for him to get it, but it's definitely kind of crazy. Well, Colton, congratulations on your contract. Enjoy golfing and training. And man, it's basically 2 months away from training camp. So get ready, and we'll see you then.
No, thanks. See you then.
There you go. That's Colton Dach, comfortable at wing or at center ice. So you look at it, that fourth line center spot, it isn't just Josh Szymanski walks in and is automatic to get it. You know, I think if they wanted to, they'd play Matthias Janmark at center if they had to. Right? Like they're going to want to play. The best guys are going to have some competition. You know, you have. I think it's fair to say that McDavid, Draisaitl, Dickinson, and if they move Draisaitl to wing at times, Nugent Hopkins, those are your top three centers. Who's ever in. And if Nugent Hopkins isn't in your center position, he's definitely a top 9 winger. There's no questions asked. Right? Podkolzin, Hyman, Savoy, those guys are locked in the top 9. I think so is Kasperi Kapanen. But after that, then the competition really begins. Right? Ike Howard wants to find himself a spot in there. Trent Frederick would like to get back in. Colton Dach's like, hey, I'm a young guy. I'm only 23. I think I can push myself in. So training camp, albeit it's going to be a lot shorter than previous years, which selfishly, that's a great thing. And I think for fans, you're like, okay, let's get going here. But I think it could, the preseason games themselves, I think are going to probably be a little bit more intense than we'd seen previously. Like maybe not the first one, but after that, you're like, okay, if our veterans sit out the first one, you know, other than the 8 or 9 minimum you have to have. After that, it's like, well, we only have so many games here to get everybody in. And that should just mean more NHL players in more preseason lineups, which should lead to a little bit better. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We'll take a quick break. We'll return. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Diamond Rides is one of Alberta's premier specialty charter companies. With our luxury motor coaches, we provide our customers with the safest and most reliable ground transportation services. Our seatbelt equipped top-of-the-line motor coaches have become the preferred carrier for many local sports teams, tours, corporate outings, and other various travel needs across Western Canada. For more information and to request a quote, contact sales at 877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth, fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text value to 780-777-7777 to start. That's value to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
Cheering on Canada, Mexico, Australia, France, England, Brazil, Germany, Spain, and the rest of the world at the Druid Irish Pub.
Your World Cup headquarters.
Wear your colors, cheer on your team, and enjoy $6.50 Heineken every game.
Plus, your chance to win a ton of World Cup merch,
including hoodies, jerseys, soccer balls, and more.
The Druid Irish Pub, your World Cup headquarters.
Bringing Edmonton together, one soccer game at a time.
The Druid Irish Pub.
Cheer with us in the Mercer Building across from Rogers Place and Ice District.
Canada's biggest appliance sale is on now at The Brick. Save big on top appliance brands throughout the store. Buy more and save more, up to $1,000 off qualifying appliance packages. Plus, take until 2030 to pay with no interest on appliances OAC with Flexity. If you find a lower advertised price on appliances, The Brick will beat it. And check out deals for the rest of your home, like up to 33% off sofas, love seats, sectionals, and recliners. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is serious about cooling. In fact, we offer multiple ways to cool your home. So you better
call Legacy. Call Legacy.
If you're looking for traditional air conditioning, we got you.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Or ask us about a heat pump to help you heat and cool.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Cool with AC or cool with a heat pump. Cool your home with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Do you have neck or back pain? Ever go for treatment hoping for a simple fix only to realize your stubborn spine is basically a science project with attitude? Hey, we get it. And honestly, we're a little sorry because great rehab does take proper experimenting. But at Leading Edge Physiotherapy, we don't just toss exercises into the beaker and hope it doesn't explode. We start with the right diagnosis, then mix hands-on care, precise manual therapy, and evidence-based technology. The formula your body actually needs. Science and skill with gratitude, not attitude. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
Attention Alberta construction pros. For over 50 years, Japa Equipment Rentals has been your go-to for top-notch equipment and stellar service. Whether you need rentals or expert maintenance, we've got you covered. Stop by our Edmonton or Calgary locations today.
It's cone season at McDonald's, which means vanilla cones are $1 each plus tax in the McDonald's app all summer long. Soft, creamy, and crunchy. For just $1 each plus tax exclusively in the McDonald's app. App download and registration required at participating McDonald's in Canada.
You've got better things to do than wait for an oil change. Jiffy Lube gets you in and out fast. No appointment necessary. All you have to do is roll into a location near you, and we'll take care of the rest. Every full synthetic oil change at Jiffy Lube is warranty approved and comes with a 20-point visual inspection, making sure you get back on the road safely. Find your neighborhood Jiffy Lube today. Visit jiffylubeservice.ca.
Alan Olson Auctions presents the annual Camrose Summer Consignment Auction open right now for online bidding through July 14th at alanolsonauction.com. This huge consignment sale features a totally unreserved retirement dispersal for Jace Craft. Bid on a variety of new and unused equipment in excellent condition, including machinery, lawn and garden tools, skid steers, and attachments. Plus, trucks, construction and farm equipment, buildings, and so much more. For more info, call 780-672-2434 or visit alanolsonauction.com today.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. We offer sale, rental, repair, and calibration of hydraulic, pneumatic, and battery-powered torque wrenches, stud tensioners, and flange maintenance equipment. Order today at Cantork.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$2:48. Welcome back, Gregor, Halley, Kruger. The gang is back together. Hope you're having a lovely Monday afternoon. Of course, nice day out, man. Enjoy the heat while we can. July, at least we got some, I don't know what it is, man, but 22 just felt unreal. In the sun, it's just so much better. God. And I know that many of you endured the storm. Some flooding on some roads, flooding in lots of streets and basements, manhole covers flying all over the place. Heck, did you see that one video from inside of Commonwealth Stadium? Even it was crazy, man. The weather has been wild lately. So hopefully you didn't have too much damage to your home or your basement or your yard or your vehicle or anything else. But hopefully that's in the past. We could get a good run. And right now, today, the weather for Friday night's game is looking decent. Now I know it's only Monday and things can change, but you look for Friday, and what are they calling for? Friday is going to be 25. There's a small risk of a thunderstorm. Slight, 20%. So hopefully that's all it is. Nothing more, but 25 degrees, man. That could be a perfect night. It was this past Thursday was unbelievable evening for football. And the Riverhawks, they're on the road this week. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they're on the road. So no, they don't have to worry about the weather here. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, Greg, Fort Saskatchewan golf is 9 holes, but a little bit of everything. The rain hampered them this year. All in all, great course. Recommend it. No wonder he gets chirped from the king of Fort Nasty. So he's playing 9 holes back to back. Well, it's still 18. Take your best, but hey, I get it. So yeah, that's worth a chirp. So see where it goes. Hey, Gregor, I watch these guys skate in the fort. It gets to the point of stick swing sometime. Justin, well, hopefully not like that. But hey, brothers, man, you know what? You're competitive. And they push each other. It is fun. It's like, well, you want to get home first to tell your side of the story. Oh, my goodness. Parents will chuckle. You know what? It doesn't matter. It's certain. Like, are you ever not a parent? Does it ever be like, okay, you know what? I don't have to do much. Not really. Seems like it's always there. So that's good. Hey, Gregor, what do you think the odds are of Dach playing center? Any idea what he was like in the face-off circle? I'd have to look it up. I don't have the face-off percentage. It wouldn't take me long, but I could look it up to see how many face-offs he took in Chicago last year. I'm going to guess it wasn't a ton. As you said, he played there a few games. So looking at his last year for Dach, he wasn't great in the draw. So what was he, 36%? He only took 71 faceoffs last year. And not many in the defensive. In the D zone, he was actually much higher, 50%, than he was in the offensive or the neutral zone. So I guess that part's good in it, but it's kind of a small enough sample. And if you're not a regular guy, it's a hard thing to do. So obviously, if he's going to play center, I think if realistically they want Dach to play center, you got to tell him that in the offseason, and he trains for that all offseason. To me, that's all you can do. I think it's unfair to players. It's the NHL, man. You can't just ask guys to be, you know what, on a whim, hey, let's try you at center. Like, sure, but the nuances of the position, like the thinking the part and the skating the part and the position, that's one thing. But like the fine-tuning your face-offs and being really good at it, like there's guys who take draws all the time who don't get good. It's hard to expect someone to just be like, okay, you know what? I want you to work on face-offs for a week, and then you're going to go out there and take them. It's probably not going to lead to a significant amount of success on there. So, hey, Gregor, my only argument for power play too would to get other players' confidence. Doesn't matter what level you play. It feels good to score. You get more pep in your next shift. Nick and Grand Prairie. Well, Nick, that's fine. But look at the second unit and the minutes they played in the power play and look at their goals that they played. You're eliminating the chance of your team scoring in the hope of other guys feeling good. Hope. There's no guarantee that you're on the second unit power play, they're going to score. And they're definitely not going to score at the same rate. So it's a big risk. And the truth of the matter is, and that's why I outlined Colorado. Colorado's power play sucked. And they played their power play, their top guys a ton. They played their top guys more than Edmonton's, and they scored at almost half the time. Because they're like, we got to get these guys going. But their depth guys still scored. All right. It's not so much the power play opportunity, it's creating more opportunities for yourself 5-on-5. I think if you believe it, your depth guys are going to all find their touch. First of all, they're not all going to find their touch because it's only going to be a few forwards on the second unit power play anyway. And like in Edmonton's case, heck, Draisaitl, McDavid, Nugent Hopkins, Hyman, they're 4 forwards. So there's still 2 top 6 guys who aren't in there. So now we'll add the 2 top 6 guys to the second power play unit. And then there's 2 guys from your third line. If it's only 1 and then maybe 2 defensemen, you're not really helping anybody anyway. It's a myth. It's truly a myth. Your fourth line guys are never touching the power play. And your number 9 forward isn't. And probably not your number 8 forward. Maybe your number 8 forward. If you're going to go 4-1 in the second unit. Maybe. So, and, a lot of times they had Ekholm and Wallman there. So you're really only getting 7 forwards involved. So those other 5, guess what? They got to produce 5-on-5. It's just that. So give them a little bit more minutes there, a little bit more time on the penalty kill. I'm all for it. Just not on the power play. I think to me, the idea of shared power play time is kind of more of the participation ribbon. Oh, everybody gets a ribbon. Well, great. The kid who got the red and the blue and the white for first, second, third, the kids who get the purple or whatever it is for 20th to 30th and stuff, like, that doesn't mean anything. I've seen kids, they cross the finish line, finish 18th, they get a ribbon. They're like, whatever. Like, because they know they didn't win. Doesn't matter to them. So I think it's kind of similar to, and just because they get a ribbon doesn't mean they're going to run faster. Just because you get a few minutes on the power play doesn't mean you're going to score more. So let's see how they'll do it. So, hey, Greg, remember when everyone thought Taylor Hall was a center because he did in Pee Wee? Well, Hall played center, but very briefly, right? It was a brief experiment. That's fine. Do I think Colton Dach's going to play center very often? No, I don't. These are things that people bring up in the offseason, and it gets people talking, and half the time it ends up never coming to fruition. So I would look at Colton Dach and say he might take a shift or two, maybe a game. But do I think he's going to be a regular center iceman for the Oilers this year? I'm going to lean towards no. Not because he necessarily couldn't do it, but he hasn't done it in a long time. And the Oilers they're in win now mode, right? They want to win. And if I'm Colton Dach, I want to play. And I might have more of a chance. Now, if I'm Colton Dach, the one area I'd like to try to get involved in is the penalty kill. That's an area for Dach, for sure, like a lot of other guys, but he would like to get a little bit of a power play time, if he could. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Let's get to the con man. We'll get back on track. Sports 1440 update brought to you by Go Auto. You're going for a vehicle? Go to Go Auto, because they got over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. Any color you want. They got 73 different locations. Find one near you. GoAuto.ca.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
The Buffalo Sabres have signed restricted free agent forward Peyton Krebs to a 4-year, $18 million contract that carries a cap hit of $4.5 million. The 25-year-old Krebs recorded 12 goals and 39 points in 82 games last season with the Sabres as they return to the playoffs for the first time since 2011. While the Dallas Stars forward Jason Robertson going to be headlining a list of restricted free agent players heading into arbitration, with proceedings reportedly begin to set next week. According to Puckpedia, Robertson's hearing has been scheduled for July 25th. The Edmonton Elks have signed American defensive lineman Carmine Bastone to their practice roster. He had invites with the Chiefs and Jets mini camps after spending 5 seasons at Northwestern University, and the BC Lions have named veteran coach Dennis McKnight as their new special teams coordinator. The team fired coordinator Corey McDermott on June 28th after opening the season with 3 straight losses. And in the majors, all-star festivities get going tonight with 8 participants meeting in the Home Run Derby at 6 o'clock from Philadelphia. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by John Hodge of 3 Down Nation and get to the stats of the day. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Say hello to Alberta's home for reeling and dealing. With Play Alberta, you can spin into the excitement of popular slots like Cash Eruption and Desert Fantasy. Experience Alberta-exclusive games and get in on the action of live dealer tables with all new elevated stakes. However you prefer to play, the fun is ready when you are. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Action Electrical's projects team takes the field, folks, ready to execute the entire play for new commercial builds.
Absolutely. They're masters of design, build, sketching strategy, from initial blueprints to core electrical infrastructure. The team never misses on complex projects.
Known for handling big league constructions and major renovations, ensuring flawless execution, hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
For all your welding supplies, think AWS Welding. Located in Nisku, their readily stocked storefront carries a wide variety of welding glasses, cylinder rentals, plus welding rod, wire, and consumables. Same-day delivery is always available. And if they don't have it, AWS Welding will find it for you fast. Visit their online store today at awswelding.ca or give them a call or text at 780-979-0470. AWS Welding. They make it happen.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Thinking of growing your business? In partnership with Prairie's Can, the Alberta Chambers of Commerce is helping businesses explore new opportunities, new markets, and build connections through organized trade missions across Canada. Find the right mission for you at abchamber.ca/trade missions.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Car shopping sucks. That's right. Going back and forth 100 times just to get a price. Give me your credit card for a test drive. What's all these extra fees? That sounds ridiculous. At Northgate, we do things a little differently. Good deals on new, pre-owned vehicles, good people, and a great selection. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
It's Dollar Drink Summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees. At participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Photographers, start your cameras. Vision Credit Union's annual photo contest is back. We're asking you to show us the people, places, and moments that made you glad you chose this rural life. Maybe it's the view from your farm, a walk down Main Street, neighbors pitching in, a weekend at the rodeo, or a sunset down the back road. Share your photo to show why life in rural Alberta is a choice worth celebrating. Enter and vote at whatsyourshare.ca.
Your co-op grow team are your local experts because we live here too. Our agronomic specialists stay up to date with the latest research and technology to help support your entire farm operation. As your crops fill and mature, we're here to help you assess crop health, manage pre-harvest applications, and make informed decisions for a successful harvest. Co-op, we're all growing together. Here for your farm, here for your family. Talk to your co-op grow team today.
Oh, you're so good now. Hey! Come on, baby. Hey there, sugar darling. Let me tell you something.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Japa Machinery. Need equipment on the job fast? Japa Equipment Rentals in Atchison has you covered. Excavators, wheel loaders, compaction equipment, and more backed by expert service. Visit japamachinery.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by playalberta.ca.
.305, welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. Hope you're having a lovely Monday afternoon. Home run derby tonight. Who do you like? Who do you got in the home run derby? Some new rules. We will, well, not new. I guess they kind of switched the rules again. We'll get to those. In a second. The Gregor Show is always brought to you by playalberta.ca, where you can stop in and everything. Casino, sports, live theater, lottery, instants, and more at playalberta.ca. And check out the Jason Gregor Watch booth. We got, of course, some World Cup action for you, a little All-Star action, and get in on early on the CFL picks for the whole week. Speaking of the CFL, the Edmonton Elks on the field today, and a good sign for them, Joe Robustelli. Now, he did practice limited, but I think there's a really decent chance you could see him in his first game action this Friday night. And, hey, the receiving core has been good. Like, you look at Cody Fajardo through the first 5 games of his season, and this is one of the it's the best start he's ever had. So We'll get into that in a second because we're going to get to our stats of the day. But first, Cons, do you have any guess or favorite that you like for the home run derby tonight?
Oh man. Is Schwarber going in as the favorite? I think he's the odds-on favorite, but I'm going to go Murakami. I think he's third in terms of the odds going into this one. Now, I mean, you have some of the hometown guys, which maybe there's a benefit there in their hometown park, but no, I'm not. I can't go that road. I can't pick the top favorite. Give me Murakami.
Murakami, and Junior Caminero is on fire right now. So, it is. But you're right. You know, Forberg. You got two Phillies going at it. Bryce Harper, who has won it before, right? I sometimes there's always, you know, a little bit of a I don't know if an upset guy is there or not, but like I don't know, like Jordan Walker, this is his first All-Star game, right? Or is his first derby. So we'll see what he has. Caglianone from the Royals. Did you know that him and Caminero, if either one of them win, they're going to be the youngest home run derby champs. So maybe there's something to look at there. Contreras, he had a suspension. Did you see his battles with the umpire? Again, now he's more of a line drive hitter, so that's where I'm like, I don't know. Ben Rice, he had a really good, and I know it's past the first half, but he had a really good first half. And I don't know, man. He might be my wild. He might be he's my dark horse, which I know he's not like that dark of a horse, but like Schwarber's kind of too obvious. I get it. But Caminero's the hottest guy coming in. So I think I might just go with the hottest guy coming in. So
yeah, I mean, Schwarber leading the majors in home runs. That's pretty impressive. If you were like, if you're a pretty established player, Gregor, is this an event you want to take part in? Because we know, like the dunk competition, like it's kind of lost some of its luster with the bigger names. Once you're established, you maybe don't feel the need. You want to be the guy on the sideline. The home run derby, it's still mano a mano, right? Like it's.
Oh yeah.
Do you think there's still that desire
like there's no
for
judging, right? There's no judging.
It's go out there and hit the ball as far as you can, and maybe there's some game plan towards it. But do you think that it still has that luster where, you know, the game's best hitters, obviously Schwarber's there?
Yeah.
Do you think there's still something to it?
I think usually yes. Like you could get in there, and you know, if Aaron Judge was healthy, now they're not going to go in it every year, right? So I understand that, but you have a lot of like Schwarber. I'm sure they would have liked Alvarez in, right? If we're talking big, but Ben Rice, Caminero, like those are three of the top 4 home run hitters in MLB this year, right? So now, but then there's a little bit of a drop off to some of the other guys. So, you know, Jordan Walker still, you know, tied for top 10, and not every guy wants to do it. I understand it, but I think if you can get every year, if you have 3 or 4 of the top 5 home run hitters in the regular season, I think you're doing good. Then you fill it out some younger guys and different things. I think that's fine, right? Because you know, other guys can still hit bombs, even though they're, you know, they maybe can't hit as many home runs off of curveballs and sliders in the regular season. They're going to be able to hit bombs at the home run derby. So no, I still think it would have some pretty big cachet, right? Like for Schwarber, the best part for him is he's like, there's no risk of a strikeout. Because he's got doesn't he have almost like 150 Ks already this year? Like that guy has been striking out a lot. Like he hits a lot of dingers, but I think he's close to 150 in strikeouts this year.
Yeah, leading the league, 144.
And then do you know who's like, how much ahead is he than everybody else?
He's 11 up. Yeah.
Okay.
He's swinging for power.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
But I do like that, like with all due respect to Mac McClung, you know, in NBA, like they're not going to AAA to find a guy who can bomb the ball. It's like, let's just use the guys we have here.
Yeah, like I'd like to see Ohtani selfishly.
I'm
Right,
with
now
you.
he's hurt, so I understand he's not going to be there. But you know, I'd like to see him in it. Like I would like it maybe one other time if you had, you know, an opportunity to just get like Schwarber and Judge and Ohtani and all the big guys say, you know what? We're all going to do it together one time.
I'm with you 100%.
Like that would be fun.
Like Griffey would go. He won it 3 times. That's my guy. I loved watching him go out there, throw the hat on backward and do it. The big guys have all done it. I think you kind of have to at some point. Like Vlad went. He went and won it
a
couple years ago,
yeah.
right? So all the big guys have gone and done it. Cal Raleigh doing it last year. But yeah, to have 3 or 4 of them all go up there and kind of put on a show, I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Ken Griffey Jr. definitely was elite at this. And they've had some obviously some big names, right? Pete Alonso is pretty good at this. Aaron Judge has won it a while ago. Who was the guy, the Oakland guy who won it back-to-back? Cespedes.
Yeah.
Right. That's like a decade ago or so, I think. Right. David Ortiz won it once. I'm pretty sure Vladdy's dad won it. If I'm not mistaken. I'm very, very certain that he did.
2007.
So, yeah.
Barry Bonds.
It was 2007 that he won?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Angels.
Hey, guys, you'll never see lineups like Bonds, Sosa, and McGuire from Trey. Well, are you sure? Well, you won't because they're not injecting steroids. Right? They're not. Now, Sosa was a good player, don't get me wrong. But, and he hit, Barry Bonds had 1 year. I think when people say Barry Bonds, Trey, is a home run hitter, I think you're kind of fooling yourself. Barry Bonds, you know how many times he hit 50 home runs in a season? Once. One time. When he hit 73. So, is he that dominant of a home run hitter? He had 1 year where he was juiced up in his head. He took so much steroids, his head grew. Right? That's, it's unfortunate, but that's just a reality, man. So, I think at times people kind of maybe get lost in that, right? Like he had hit prior to him going to the Giants, like with the Pirates. I think his career high with the Pirates. Now that was obviously early in his career. So he had 35, 34. And then he got to the Giants and he had 46 his first year, but then he was a 37, 40 because he was an unreal hitter, fast, was going to be the first 500 home run, 500 stolen base guy. And he would have been if he didn't decide to cheat. Make no mistake. I have zero empathy for Barry Bonds, and I can't describe when you say, "Oh, we never had one like that." The guy hit 50 home runs once. There's lots of guys who've hit 50 home runs in a season. Barry Bonds hit 73 because he cheated. Full stop. Nothing else. He cheated. You can't deny that. It's just the truth. So.
Going back to Vlad's year, I mean, they put on a heck of a show, though. Maybe it's not those juiced up era guys, but Rodriguez at 41 in the first round.
Oh, I know.
Remember that? He crushed Pete Alonso.
Yeah.
Aranzarena had a good one. Luis Robert at 28. Vlad was the second lowest guy to get through, but he just kind of won the battle each round.
Yeah, and I do kind of like that they've changed the rules in the home run derby this year. So because the first round used to be the best, and then the guys would be tired out by the final. So in round 1 tonight, there's 8 hitters. Everybody gets 20 swings. The top 4 advance, and first round ties are broken by longest home run distance. So the top 4 guys move on: 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3. In the 4 remaining batters, they get 15 swings each. There you go. Now, if you're down to your final swing and you keep hitting home runs, you could keep hitting until you're done. And that's good. And that's on the final swing of either round. So that's you can keep extending. If you get hot, you hit a home run on swing 20. Heck, you can hit one on 21 and 22, and away you go. So there's definitely less swings, which means that now you want to wait for the right pitch. Number one, but more so you have. You don't have to hit 28 home runs and where you just gassed. It does tire you out after a while, no question. So I kind of like it that way. I think it'll be a little bit more urgency. Every swing matters, shall we say? I think that will be. I think that'll be good. I always like the home run derby, man. It's just they're launching some bombs. It's still difficult to hit the ball that far. It just is. So I quite like it. It'll be great. You got to remember the pitchers were juicing too. Yeah, some of them. No question. But that doesn't make it better. Right? Like it was the roid era. That's just the truth. And it is funny that as time passes, some people feel, but it was okay. Like, no, it's not okay. It's just not. Not everybody was doing it because it was illegal. Now, did the league turn a blind eye? Yeah. Like, I think it's kind of a joke that the commissioner's in the Hall of Fame. The commissioner that oversaw all of that is in the Hall of Fame. Why? He allowed it. He knew it. Don't kid yourself into thinking he didn't know what was going on. He was 100% aware of it. Oh, it's going to help our ratings. Okay, great. And then the minute the players started, people were like, hey, wait a sec. Something's off here. And then he started calling it out. Now the commissioner's like, oh, yeah, geez, we can't have this. Like, I'm sorry. You don't have the players in because they cheated? Fine. And the commissioner sure as heck should be in. But I know how it works, and I know who got the commissioner in. They all in their little circle, and they scratch each other's back. I understand. So, hey, Gregor, take away his juice cheers. He's still no doubt a Hall of Famer. Nikki Northside. Hey, Nikki, I wholeheartedly agree with you. That's what makes his decision. And guess what? He's a great example of consequences to your actions. He was able to juice, and he knew the risk, and he decided to take it anyway. So guess what? They didn't take away the rule book, which I wish they would have, but they didn't. So you're not going to scrap his stats, but he's not going to be a Hall of Famer. And I really hope that over time, people don't soften up and be like, yeah, well, he should get in. No, he shouldn't. He was the poster boy for juicing. Sosa, McGuire, Roger Clemens. Sorry. Because you can't allow them to do it, cheat the game, and then be like, oh, yeah, but it's been a few years now. Let's let them in. Have a spine and just say, no, guess what? Your game will not be worse off. No one's going to be like, oh, I can't cheer for baseball because Barry Bonds, a proven cheater, isn't in the Hall of Fame. Come on now. Can't do it. Coming up, we're going to talk a little hockey, some off-season signs, and a few teams have made some significant, a few playoff teams, some significant roster moves. Are they better? Or worst case scenario, are they worse? We'll see. But good news for Joe Robustelli. He was a full participant in practice. Not good news on the injury front. David Beard did not practice. I'd mentioned it. We talked about it on a Friday, Declan and I thought that was a strained calf. And it comes out today, and he's listed as calf. So not good. Jordan Williams, also D lineman who got injured last game. He's not practicing. And if he's not practicing today, probably not a great look that he'll be ready for Monday. But Robustelli looks like he'll be back in. I'm not sure if there's anybody else who will be ready for this week. The other guys, Boyko, Mechie, Pace, all limited. Pace might be the one guy who could draw back in on the weekend, on Friday night. Quick break. We'll return. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310-GLASS or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Want to invest in Alberta's workforce, fill your talent pipeline, and get funding? Careers. The next generation connects employers with motivated, pre-vetted youth through funded internships. Easy, impactful, and risk-free.
When you work with a group like Careers who have experience in that area, they can demystify and navigate all the complex steps and stakeholders that have to be involved.
Visit careersnextgen.ca today.
Need a new ride for road trips, errands, or just life on the go?
Go Auto offers a massive selection with over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love: better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquasential reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade: safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
Kickoff is coming July 17th. Elks, Lions at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. It's Dog Days of Summer presented by ATCO Energy. Bring your pup and watch the game in an exclusive section. Get your tickets at goelks.com/tickets.
Cheering on Canada, Mexico, Australia, France, England, Brazil, Germany, Spain, and the rest of the world at the Druid Irish Pub.
Your World Cup headquarters.
Wear your colors, cheer on your team, and enjoy $6.50 Heineken every game.
Plus, your chance to win a ton of World Cup merch,
including hoodies, jerseys, soccer balls, and more.
The Druid Irish Pub, your World Cup headquarters.
Bringing Edmonton together, one soccer game at a time.
The Druid Irish Pub.
Cheer with us in the Mercer Building across from Rogers Place in Ice District.
Are you a skilled laborer? All Star Construction wants to talk to you. A heavy equipment operator with Traco or backhoe experience? All Star Construction wants to talk to you, too. With work in and around Edmonton for local land developers, All Star Construction offers year-round employment. Whether it's power, gas, or telecom, developers rely on All Star Construction to get the job done. So if you're a skilled laborer or a heavy equipment operator with Traco or backhoe experience searching for work, search All Star Construction on Indeed.
I'm Rick Showers from No Bull RV with an unfortunate reality of buying an RV new. If you finance the whole thing, you'll owe more than your new RV is worth for like a long time.
In the credit world, they call that upside down on your loan.
That's right, Bob. Same with new cars. You lose about a third of the value when it rolls off the lot, which puts you upside down in a big way. And that's a dangerous place to be because customers want to sell it and pay off the loan, then realize it's not possible. Sometimes people are so angry about that, they give us bad reviews because we can't help them.
Used buyers don't have that problem.
It's why I love used RVs so much, Bob. You pay fair market value for a quality used RV at No Bull, and it's still worth that much when it leaves the lot. Even if you finance the whole thing, in most cases, you're right side up for the whole term, which gives you options and flexibility later.
And that's No Bull.
NoBullRV.ca. Legacy Heating and Cooling is serious about cooling. In fact, we offer multiple ways to cool your home. So you better
call Legacy. Call Legacy.
If you're looking for traditional air conditioning, we got you.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Or ask us about a heat pump to help you heat and cool.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Cool with AC or cool with a heat pump. Cool your home with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
I missed one payment, then another. Now I feel behind on everything. I can't keep up.
Falling behind happens to more people than you think, but there is a solution. My name is Parveen Middleton. I'm a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Edmonton. Together, we can create a plan that fits your situation and helps you get caught up and back in control. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to book your free consultation and discover your debt-free future.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wine, cocktails, and beers from all over the world. Also a variety of excellent and non-alcoholic options. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
326. How you doing? Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Declan Cougar, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. An update, 900 swings and no hole in one so far through 8 hours and 45 minutes for Tyler Yaremchuk. Cons, now this is where the pain will start to creep in. Hands, back, shoulders. So we'll see. Basically, kind of like just over a third of the way through the day, because trying to get a hole in one in 24 hours. Hopefully, it doesn't get rained out this time. Will his hands hold up? We'll see. Deck made a good point. He goes, I think if you don't get one the first 3 hours, it becomes way tougher. Possibly. Well, we were watching it, and during the commercial break, and there was a ball like about a foot in front of the hole. Like one was fairly close, but really when you're talking a hole in one, you're either in or you're not. It's not horseshoes. And I'm like, why are they not cleaning that one away right away? I didn't get it. So, but I guess maybe it was at our angle. Maybe it didn't show it. So if you deflected it off of that ball and it would go in, maybe. So here's my question. Would that count? Would you consider that a hole in one? Because if you're playing with yourself, there wouldn't be the ball on there. Now, maybe your playing partners would be on there. I guess maybe that's the argument. Well, what do you think, Cons?
I mean, it would open itself up to controversy.
Oh.
And there'd be a debate,
Yeah.
and you'd have to do it again. But I'm wondering, like, does he need, is it George Mumford? Like, does he need a psychologist to go talk to him right now, kind of calm him down, get him back into it? Because right now the battle's mental, I think.
Yeah.
He can clearly hit it in the vicinity. He's got to get that head right.
Oh, yeah. It'd be a challenge, no doubt. So good luck to old Ty. 320. Let's get to our football report brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Home of the no payments. No interest for 1 year on your furnace or your AC unit. Bundle them together and save even more right now at legacyheating.ca. And another week has come and gone in the CFL, and no changes really atop the standings as Montreal 4-1, Edmonton 4-1, Saskatchewan 4-1. To break it all down from 3 Now Nation, John Hodge joins us. John, welcome back to the show, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
So, John, is it fair to say that Edmonton's legit, or is it still too early for you?
They're absolutely legit. I think everyone's talking about Justin Rankin, rightfully so. He's obviously had a great start to the season. He had a pre-season goal of 1,000 yards rushing, 1,000 yards receiving. I think it's absolutely realistic he could achieve that. I think he will, in fact, achieve that, provided he stays healthy, or at the very least, stays mostly healthy. But I don't think enough people are talking about this team's defense. Like the defensive line, obviously going into the season, adding a guy like Malik Carney, arguably the best edge rusher in the CFL. We had high expectations, right? Noah Curtis coming back from injury. There was high expectations. But when you look at what this unit's done on the back end, I mean, J.J. Ross has built on a very good rookie season. Cordell Jackson, I thought, was spectacular against Ottawa. 2 knockdowns, 2 interceptions. He's contesting all these balls. Kenneth Logan Jr., right? You look at how many of these guys, Shaylin Garnes, are building into year 2, year 3. I talked to J.C. Sherritt, the team's defensive coordinator, all the way back at Combine, and he seemed really confident about how the unit could develop and continue getting better into year 2 of his tenure, and it's absolutely done that. They're the number 1 defense in the CFL in yards allowed per play, and as much as Justin Rankin's done great, and he deserves a ton of credit, don't get me wrong, I think the defense has quietly been excellent as well.
Yes. You know what? They'd had a lot of fumbles and had a lot of knockdowns. Their secondary got it at 1 interception, and boom, suddenly they got 4 in the same game. The thing is, they've had lots of injuries on defense to their middle linebacking core, and they're kind of on their number 3 middle linebacker, who's the number 3 overall pick in Jabomi, and man, he looked even better in his second start than he did in his first start.
Absolutely, right? And it speaks to the depth that they've built there. The Elks didn't take DJ Jabome at 3rd overall because they needed a linebacker. They just took him because they needed, he was a great player who was available. And I think they went into that draft with a lot of depth at a bunch of key places, offensive line. I mean, this is a team that didn't have Mark Cordy in the starting lineup in week 1. Mark Cordy is good enough to start for a lot of teams in the Canadian Football League. And when you have that depth, you can take the best player available. And it's just so happened that Jabome has been entered into the starting lineup pretty early on. Obviously, this team has Nick Anderson, who's great. He's out. Brock Bogenson looked really good in his start. He's out. And so sometimes good things happen to teams with depth. And when you build that depth, you're able to sustain those injuries when they do occur. So they're generally pretty healthy everywhere else. I know they got a little nicked up. We'll wait to see what the updates are on Jordan Williams along the defensive line. I know David Beard got nicked up in that game along the offensive line.
He's out.
But
yeah, Beard's got a calf injury, which is strained calf, which tells me he's going to be I could see him missing a month. Calves are brutal.
Gotcha.
So he's out. Williams also didn't practice today. I'm going to guess he's probably out. So that's a tough loss for them. And Beard's been unreal on the O-line. Like,
oh yeah.
Like Cody Fajardo is on pace to crush all of his standards, his passing, quarterback, passing, touchdowns, everything. And the protection he's had this year is night and day different than last year.
The protection's been much better. And it's funny how the offensive line, and Coulter Woodmansey's also out, though I think he's going to be back within the next few weeks. This unit, if you look at the starting unit for the Hamilton Tiger Cats just a few years ago, it's 4 of the same 5 pieces. I mean, the 2 tackles played together in Hamilton, and David Beard was the center in Hamilton. And we of course know that Coulter Woodmansey came over in February from Hamilton. And so Ed Hervey and Spencer Zimmerman and all the guys who were in Hamilton when a lot of these guys were drafted or first signed to the Canadian Football League, they've now brought them over to Edmonton, because usually, right, when you put 5 O-linemen together, even if they're all really talented, it takes time to develop that chemistry. Well, this unit, just by virtue of mostly being together in another city, came with that chemistry built in, and it's allowed them to hit the ground running. And I couldn't agree more. The protection for Cody's been better. And if you can run the ball really well, you've got a great safety valve in Justin Rankin, and you're getting great protection. Yeah, you've set your quarterback up for such tremendous success. And Austin Mack, I thought, had his best game as a member of the Elks this past week too. So if he plays like a true number one, you're set for success for sure.
Now, the BC Lions, the team to beat Edmonton, they beat them, and Edmonton did not like their game at all. Really, they got manhandled on both sides of the line of scrimmage. Some people thought maybe they read their press clippings a little bit too much, and so they got humbled. BC, we haven't seen them since, but Nathan Rourke and that offense is still very dangerous. They're getting healthy. What's your expectations for Friday? Like, here's an opportunity for Edmonton to just say, okay, we didn't like our game in BC, but they got to bounce back. And I think it really starts on both lines of scrimmage, because they kind of got manhandled in BC.
Yeah, and look, I don't think the BC Lions are nearly as bad as their record shows. Yeah, they were 0-3 coming into that game in Kelowna. Defensively, yeah, they had a poor start to the season. Offensively, they've been nicked up at receiver in particular. But I mean, when you have the MOP under center, a guy who's a dual threat, who can make any play that you could reasonably expect of a quarterback, and you have 2 great weapons, because Keon Hatcher and Justin McInnes are healthy. I mean, they can put up 30 points easily, which is why I'm so excited for that matchup. I think BC's offense is dangerous, but Edmonton's defense is excellent. It's going to be a really nice matchup there. Defensively, I don't think the Lions are a top team at this point, but I do think they've improved in a short period of time. And I also think they're going to improve on special teams. They had a nice bounce back performance in that win over the Elks. And I mean, heck, this is a club that fired their special teams coordinator after 3 games. Your specials have to be pretty miserable to start the year to make that type of move so early. So I'm excited for this one. I don't know who I'm going to pick yet. I will say, I think the Elks can hang with anybody in the CFL, and I think they're a legitimate 4-1 team. And the issue with the picks is, other than Hamilton and Ottawa, who are not just one rung down the ladder, but I think multiple rungs down the ladder from everybody else, I think the rest of the CFL 7 teams you can throw in a blender. Like, Edmonton's really good. Montreal's really good. Sask is really good. But I also think Calgary's good. I think Winnipeg's good. I think the Lions are good. Like, every other team, even the Argos, they're 2-3, but like, they've played some good football, considering they've played 5 straight games on the road. Like, that's a big challenge to overcome. So it should be an absolute beauty at Commonwealth.
Speaking of Toronto, their offense can score a lot, but they also give up a lot as far as interceptions go, and their defense just can't stop a lick right now.
Yeah, defensively, they're the 9th ranked team in the CFL in yards per play, and that's got to be concerning. They have some injuries. Cameron Judge didn't play this last week, but I thought Owen Goss, who stepped in for him, looked really good. I think they struggle at times to get after the passer. That was before the season started. I think the weakness that a lot of people saw was at the defensive end spots. Andrew Chatfield started last season really hot, finished cold. And then on the flip side, Jonathan Kongbo, who had been in Edmonton prior, was kind of a role player, a depth piece elsewhere. Well, now he's a full-time starter. And I mean, when you're not getting that pressure up front, it does put a lot of pressure on your secondary. That said, this is a team that went out and brought back Deshaun Amos, who's been an all-star in this league to start at halfback. They brought back a Darius Pickett, who's been an all-CFL player at strong side linebacker. And those pieces just haven't gelled well enough. I do think they miss Wynton McManus, who departed from them after a few seasons at linebacker to the Hamilton Tiger Cats. But they've got to get that fixed because they hired Greg Quick as their defensive coordinator, in large part because he knew Noel Thorpe's system from Montreal. And right now we have not seen a Montreal attacking style defense that's fast and physical in Toronto. We've seen a Toronto defense that's getting beat a lot, and they're giving up way too many points.
Oh, God, are they ever? The Ottawa Red Blacks, I know it's early, but man, you watch Drew Brown's performance in Winnipeg and you're like, what are you doing? But I will say, I think Ottawa has the worst offensive line in the league. And that makes it pretty challenging for any quarterback. Mayer was under pressure all night against Edmonton. But, that Drew Brown situation early on hasn't looked like a great decision by them. But on Winnipeg's side, they look and say, hey, he played great. Now you're against Ottawa. Like, there's no chance they're not giving Drew Brown the opportunity to face his former team on Sunday, are they?
Well, I mean, this team does love Zach Collaros, and if Zach is fully healthy, I think he starts. But that being said, I mean, and Jason, we know this in this business, you're not supposed to cheer for teams or players, but you can cheer for storylines. So I'm desperately hoping that Drew Brown gets to start this week. That would be an amazing story for the Bombers, for the Red Blacks. And I think it's a great story if Drew Brown goes to Ottawa and lights it up, or if he really struggles. It's going to be an interesting story to follow. I can't wait for it. I do think Drew Brown is arguably the better quarterback between the two. I think Zach has had a bit of a bounce back year. He threw 5 touchdowns, 2 picks his first 3 games, but he did have a bit of a slow start in that Hamilton game, then got hurt. Whereas Brown, right, he's just younger. He's fresher. I think his arm is probably a little bigger at this point of both their careers. And so I think the Bombers made a really smart move to bring in Drew Brown as their number 2. I think he's better than some number 1s in the CFL, but I also think this is Zach's team. And when you listen to Mike O'Shea talk, I think he thinks Zach Collaros is the best player in the Canadian Football League, much less quarterback. I mean, he is a card-carrying member of the Zach Collaros fan club. So I think we could see Zach if he's healthy this week. But admittedly, for the storyline, I'm hoping we see Drew.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that one. The Bo Levi Mitchell injury, obviously, Hamilton, I think people thought, hey, they could be competitive with Bo, without Bo. It's not looking good. I know it was only one game, but you go into Hamilton and Jake Dolagala was, 17 for 30, only 122 yards, like no real threat downfield. His average pass completion was 4.1 yards.
Awful.
That's it. Trey Ford came in and went 5 for 6 and, almost double the average, 7.8. What do you think they do at the quarterback position next for their starter?
Scott Milanovich has been pretty clear that they see Trey Ford as their future, right? He acknowledged in the media this week that, Bo has considered retirement, and what they really wanted was for Trey to have a year with Bo, learn from Bo. And I think for 2027, should Bo choose not to continue playing, be the guy. And so I think they see him still as a long-term guy, as a project. I personally have questions about that. The guy is 28. This is year 5. I don't think he should be seen as a project. I think he should be a fully formed finished product. But if the Ticats still see upside, who am I to question Scott Milanovich? He knows a lot more about coaching quarterback than I do. However, with that being said, I mean, Jake Dolagala was miserable in that game. And if you go back to the previous game, that we'll call it a quarter and a half after Bo got hurt against Winnipeg, I mean, Trey Ford and Jake Dolagala were terrible. I went and did the math, Jason. In the 4 quarters after Bo got hurt, if you add up all the passing yards the Ticats had, the equivalent of a full game, it was 65. And this is a passing league. yes, you can run the ball. You can win games on specials on defense. But if you have literally no passing game, you can't win games consistently. You'll be lucky to win one. And so I think they're going to roll with Jake Dolegala for at least the next little bit based on Scott Milanovich's comments. But I think in the long run, you're probably better going to Trey Ford. Yes, Trey Ford is a low floor, but we've also seen an extremely high ceiling. And I was thinking about this yesterday, watching that Hamilton Saskatchewan game. We saw just a couple years ago, Trey Ford go into Regina. I think he put up 37 points and got the win with a not great Edmonton Elks team. I'm not saying he goes into Regina and gets the win with Hamilton, but it would have been nice if he got the chance to get in that game sooner based on how poorly Jake Dolegala played. So I think the Ticats are in a world of trouble regardless, but I think they need to be quicker to pull the chute if and when Jake Dolegala struggles again.
Oh, yeah, without question. Lastly for you, Rankin, like the Russian totals there, but we also, I can't let you go without talking about the start for Philpott as a receiver. Like he's on track to break every record for a receiver this year in the CFL, and he's a Canadian. Like he is having himself an unreal year. Like if we look at it for MVPs, and I know a receiver is hard to win, but Philpott would put up a really strong case, as would Rankin, because Rankin might be the first ever 1,000 guy, and he could set the yards from scrimmage record as well. But Philpott, like those two guys, could be the finalists. And I can't even think the last time, if ever, we've had two finalists and neither was a quarterback for the MVP.
Yeah, it's happened, but it's been a long time. And I think you're bang on. If I had to vote today, I would anticipate the two final nominees would be Justin Rankin from the West and Tyson Philpott from the East. And I don't know how I'd cast my vote, to be perfectly honest. I mean, both are off to incredible starts. And I went and I did a piece for ThreeDownNation.com just this last week. The league confirmed to me that through 4 games, I think Tyson Philpott was at 586 receiving yards. That was the most of any receiver in league history through 4 games, which is unbelievable. The previous high was, I think, 546 by Adarius Bowman back in 2016 when he was lighting it up in Edmonton. The all-time record, there's 3 guys who have had 2,000-yard receiving seasons. The best is Alan Pitts in 1994. I think he put up 2,036 yards. Terry Greer had a 2,000-yard season, and Daryl Mitchell, both had 2,000-yard receiving seasons. So Philpott is currently on pace for close to 2,600 yards. Is he going to get to 26? No. But the fact that he's currently on pace after 5 games is shocking. The record I think he is going to hit, provided he doesn't get hurt, is the Canadian record that's held by Terry Evanshan, was set in 1976. He had, I think it was 1,670 some yards. Tyson Philpott getting to 1,700 yards this season seems like a foregone conclusion. The guy's over 700 already. He's only 100 yards away from a single season career high, and the guy's played 5 games. It's unbelievable. He has made the Alouettes must watch.
Oh, he's on pace for like 2,588 yards. Like,
insane.
He's going to slow down at some point, but like 2,000, if they stay healthy, to me wouldn't seem unrealistic at this point, which would be crazy. We could see a lot of it. And I'll just say this, people who are worried about the rule changes, fairly quiet right now. Fairly quiet.
Well, yes and no. I think it stands to, I think the response I would have is, well, things are going great. Why are we changing anything?
Yeah, well, I look at, but people were worried about the 35-second shot time clock and everything.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
No, the changes that are currently in effect,
yes.
I was a big fan of them before the season, but I think they've surpassed even what I thought they would be. They've been great. I still have a lot of questions about next year's changes, but we'll worry about that next year.
Yeah, the only thing is that once they do change, it's taken away 10 yards in the field, so that's potentially 10 yards in a catch or a run. That will, so those this would be the year to break the records because it'll be harder mathematically starting next season.
And we're taking away the missed field goal return touchdowns. We've had 2 of those in 6 weeks, 2 of the most exciting plays of the season so far. But
yeah, well, but one of those, the guy was still in the end zone, right? So you're like, you missed the field goal, but didn't go out the back of the end zone, so they still could return it.
Well, the uprights are going to the back of the end zone next year.
Yeah. So, but they'd have to be long enough, right? Like if you come up short, you still return.
Yeah, and it is possible that kicks will be missed short.
Because I think they're going to try for long. I think with the shorter field, I think we're going to see longer field goal attempts.
And that could be, but the number of missed field goal returns will diminish, and I suspect it will diminish greatly, which sucks, especially when you see that return Trey Vavel had that shook the stadium. I mean, it was unbelievable, the atmosphere in Winnipeg. That's always a good atmosphere, but it was particularly remarkable on that play.
Yeah, no, for sure. Although this is kind of a strange year. We haven't had many missed field goal returns in quite some time. I think they did the study and it was like over the last 5 years, there was only something like 3. So we're lucky. This year has been the year of excitement in the CFL. No one can complain about that. It has been high scoring. A lot like when your lines are like 58 and 59 and 60 now, it's wild. So
it's been a great year. That's for sure so far.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, John. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jason. Anytime.
There you go. That's John Hodge from 3 Down Nation. Quick break. Gregor, Halley, Kruger. We'll come back. We got stats of the day and more on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Say hello to Alberta's home for reeling and dealing. With Play Alberta, you can spin into the excitement of popular slots like Cash Eruption and Desert Fantasy. Experience Alberta-exclusive games and get in on the action of live dealer tables with all new elevated stakes. However you prefer to play, the fun is ready when you are. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
It's cone season at McDonald's, which means vanilla cones are $1 each plus tax in the McDonald's app all summer long. Soft, creamy, and crunchy. For just $1 each plus tax exclusively in the McDonald's app. App download and registration required at participating McDonald's in Canada.
Everything is going to be okay. Any business, regardless of size, can stumble occasionally. I'm Dan McDicken, a licensed insolvency trustee with Faber. If your business is facing financial challenges, our team of chartered insolvency and restructuring professionals have corporate debt recovery solutions that work. Schedule your free Faber focus session at faber.ca today. Chances of a positive outcome increase if you engage Faber sooner rather than later.
You see it? Fusion Promo Marketing can make it. Fusion makes high-quality, memorable promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. From vision to reality, get noticed and remembered. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
Wow, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
At GS Construction, people grow with the company. 50 years of experience doesn't live in a binder on a shelf. It lives in our people at every level, passed down on every site. Many of us started with a shovel in our hands and built whole careers here. The work is honest. The company's been around since 1974. So if it all sounds good to you and you want to grow with us, GS Construction is currently looking for experienced pipe layers and topmen. No shovel required. Visit gsconstruction.ca today.
Listen up, friends. Operation Pizza is a go at Papa John's. They're introducing new personal pizzas just in time to celebrate the premiere of Toy Story 5. These adventure-sized pies come in new exciting flavors like Sheriff's Roundup, Space Ranger-oni, and Reach for the Pie. Or take your personal pizza to infinity and beyond by creating your own flavor just for you. Order 2 or more with Papa Pairings and get yours for only $9.99 each. New personal pizzas are ready for takeoff. See Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 in theaters June 19th.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. From weekend warriors to professional athletes, kids playing soccer to grandparents in the garden, rotator cuff tears and tendonitis to post-surgical knees and hips. We fix your body. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
Oh, that's an underrated tune, Cons. I like it. Welcome back to the show. Gregor Halley, Kruger, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. Hope you are having a lovely Monday afternoon. We got Mike Carrington joining us coming up. Lots of changes for one team who made had their best, well, obviously their best year in like 16 years. But they made too many moves. Are they better? Are they worse? And what's Devin Levi going to bring to the Edmonton Oilers? So that is coming up. But first, let's get to our stats of the day, brought to you by All-Star Construction. And they have grown since being founded in 2002, and they are hiring. Go to Indeed.com, look up All-Star Construction. Now, if you're just beginning and you're just looking for general labor, great. They've also got backhoe operators, equipment operators, hydrovac operators, if you're a gas pipe technician. So lots of different opportunities. Work for a great company. All-Star Construction at Indeed.com. We got a lot of stats to get to. So let's dive right in. So first of all, shout out to Brooke Henderson. I don't know how many of you. So Brooke Henderson, she shot a 7 under 64 yesterday, carding 3 birdies, 3 eagles. She got an ace on the par 3 eighth. She had to make an eagle on her last hole to get to a playoff. Unfortunately, she lost in the playoff at the major on the LPGA, but she set an LPGA record for the most eagles in a single major championship over the weekend with 6 and lost in a playoff. Brutal, but still unreal performance by Brooke Henderson, who's obviously I think it's fair to say Brooke's the greatest woman golfer Canada's ever has. Not even close, really. Like, hey, Lori Kane, I love you and everything's great, but sorry, it's not really the same, I don't think. Now, sticking with golf, you had, how about Scotty Scheffler? He missed his first cut in 4 years. 78 straight cuts he had made, which was the 5th longest behind Hale Irwin, 86, Jack Nicklaus, 105, Byron Nelson, 113, and Tiger at 142. I know a lot of people, Jack, think about that. So Jack missed 105 in a 6-year span, and Woods had 142 in 1998, 2005. Pretty impressive for both of those guys. But Scotty Scheffler streak ends at 78. What he said was, it's good news. I can get to the Open Championship earlier and hit a few more practice rounds. So would I count out Scotty Scheffler coming up this weekend? I would not. I would not at all. So how about the sale? Did you see the sale of the Seahawks, the reigning Super Bowl champions? $9.6 billion. The previous Cons, do you know what the previous most expensive NFL sale was prior to the Seahawks at $9.6 billion?
Top of my head, no.
The Commanders at 6.05 3 years ago. And it basically went up like 50%. That is actually over 50%. That to me is just now it's not the most expensive across all sports in North America. The Lakers were sold for $10 billion, but it's a massive increase. Like, obviously you've got way more billionaires and they've got way more money to spend, but the most expensive sale back in 2009, the first team to ever get to $1 billion in the NFL were the Dolphins, and they sold for $1.1 billion. Then it took 9 years to double that. The Panthers sold for $2.3 billion in 2018. Then it doubled again 4 years later when the Broncos sold for $4.65 billion. That's Pat Bowlen, may he rest in peace, in 2022. And now 4 years later, it's doubled again. It's ridiculous money, man. Ridiculous. Now, to baseball, MLB, if you're looking just from a pure entertainment standpoint, where you would never want to leave the game in the first inning, third inning, fifth inning, ninth inning, it doesn't matter. I don't think there's a team that is more entertaining to watch offensively and defensively right now than the Nationals. They lead the majors in runs scored at 516. But, and it's always a but, they just had their 26th and 27th blown saves of the year already. They can't hold on to a lead. They're awful. They've scored the most runs. They've allowed the third most runs, and they are well ahead of anybody else in blown saves with 26 now and 27 this past weekend. That was crazy. I don't know if you saw it on the weekend or not, but this guy he was announced that he's going to the All-Star game. So that's pretty special. He was a 7th round pick back in 2021. He didn't make his MLB debut until last year with Tampa Bay, but didn't really play. Now he goes to the White Sox, and he's another reason why the White Sox have gone from worst to really competitive. Center fielder Tristan Peters. His OPS is 832, but on Friday, he hit one of the rarest cycles in MLB history. He became the 5th player to achieve as the number 9 hitter, so that's rare. He was the 3rd in the expansion era to complete his cycle by getting 2 hits in the same inning. And you know what those 2 hits were? The triple and the home run. So he got the 2 hardest, both in one inning. Hitting out of the number 9 hole to get the cycle. The rookie Tristan Peters, when you're watching the All-Star game, like, that guy has been very impressive. I'm not going to say he's come out of nowhere, but he's come out of nowhere. He has left Tampa Bay's organization, White Sox. No one even really talked about it. Now he goes to the White Sox, and he's absolutely killing it. Killing it. And lastly, for Oilers fans, there was some talk about, you know what? You should give your second unit power play more opportunity. Now, if there is the odd time, sure. But it should not become something that's a regular occurrence for the Edmonton Oilers. No chance in my mind that I would be doing it. And I broke down the numbers, and you can do it because a lot of people are like, wow, get them off after a minute because they're not as productive in the second minute. Are you sure? So the Oilers' first unit power play last year had 30, and this is 5-on-4, because now they had 5 other goals, 4-on-3s I'm not including, and 5-on-3s I'm not including. So out of the 5-on-4 situation that they had, and if you look at, they scored 31 goals in the first minute and 32 in the second minute. And keep in mind, they're not on the ice as long all the time. They're on the ice for the first full minute. We know that 100%. They're not on for the full 2 minutes. but they still scored more in the final 2 minutes by one. They scored 19 goals between 61st, second, and, a minute and a half at 90 seconds. From 61 to 90 seconds, they scored 19 goals. They scored 15 in the first 30 seconds. They scored 16 in the first 30 seconds, 15 in the next 30, then 19, and then 13 down the stretch. Any suggestion that the Oilers should be giving their second unit power play time, because thinking that they're going to score at a higher rate is delusional. And this thought process that, going to get more guys going. Which guys are going to get going? You play 4 forwards in the first unit. They usually play 2 defensemen on the second unit. So you're going to get Podkolzin maybe. And guess what? Podkolzin was one of your most productive players, 5-on-5. Matt Savoy. And who else? Like, who would be the third forward on the second unit power play? Would it be Isaac Howard? Okay. But it's not going to get the other guys going who need to get going because they're not going to be on the power play. So I want to reduce McDavid and Draisaitl's minutes, and the easy thing, penalty kill and 5-on-5. That's where you do it. Now, last year in blowout games, that's when the Oilers' second unit did get a little bit more gravy time. I remember that Seattle game. The Oilers had a ton of power plays. They were up like 9-2, 9-3. Sure. 8-1 against LA. Then put the first unit on to start. Sure. Those situations make sense. Most times, nada. You got the most dangerous power play in NHL history. Do what you're good at. Play to your strengths. That's a strength of the team. I am not neutering it because I'm hoping to get the second unit going. I'll reduce their penalty kill time and their 5-on-5 time. That's how you do it. Quick break. Let's get to the Con Man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Hire Good. For professional property services that you can feel good about, get Hire Good. Site cleanup, debris removal, seasonal maintenance, and more. HireGood.ca. Stable jobs create stable lives. Here's Connor Halley.
The Sports 1440 update.
The Buffalo Sabres have signed restricted free agent forward Peyton Krebs to a 4-year contract worth $18 million. A 25-year-old Krebs had 12 goals, 39 points in 82 games last season, while Dallas Stars forward Jason Robertson will headline a list of restricted free agent players heading to arbitration. According to Puckpedia, Robertson's hearing will be scheduled for July 25th. The Edmonton Elks have added American defensive lineman Carmine Bastone to their practice roster. Bastone participated in minicamps with the Chiefs and Jets after spending 5 seasons at Northwestern University, and the BC Lions have named veteran coach Dennis McKnight as their new special teams coordinator. The Lions fired special teams coordinator Corey McDermott on June 28th following 3 straight losses. In the majors, all-star festivities get going tonight with 8 participants meeting in the Home Run Derby, 6 o'clock from Philadelphia. Coming up in Hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, look at the Sabres with Mike Harrington, talk some goaltending with Kevin Woodley, and ask 5 questions. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray Radio Station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. Cantork has always been a forward-thinking company, but now that we've turned 25, I can't help but take a minute to take a look back. Thank you to everyone that's been with us along the way.
Okay, new strategy. I'll just live in the freezer till October. It's spacious in here. It's spacious.
There's a better way to survive the coming AC season. Pro Solutions is your one-call solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. We offer
Jason
convenient
Gregor.
financing options and fast appointments so you can enjoy your entire home, not just the freezer.
Now I can leave the frozen peas where they belong.
Book now
Jason
at
Gregor, Connor Halley.
ProSolutionsInc.ca.
Stay.
And here comes Action Electrical service team sprinting onto the scene. These are your first responders for any electrical emergency.
That's right. With their fleet of service vans and specialized gear, they assess, they service, and maintain electrical lighting and automation systems. They're all about rapid response.
Quick diagnostics and repairs to restore power and safety fast. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit? No credit? We got you. Text check to 780-777-7777. That's check to 780-all-7. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
Craving a dining experience that rises above the rest? Head to Summit Restaurant in the Silent Ice Center, just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Savor exceptional house-made pizza, delectable entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails in a stylish, modern atmosphere. Perfect for a casual meal or a special night out. Summit offers a refined experience where every bite and sip reflects our dedication to quality. Elevate your dining experience. Make Summit Restaurant your destination tonight.
Hey, Gary, is that your dad?
No, this is Evan, the new sales rep I hired.
Oh.
First impressions matter, but when hair loss takes over, it can feel like you're not being seen for the maverick you truly are. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we know that hair loss is more than just a cosmetic issue. It's personal. Let's discuss all the cutting-edge options available so you can make a great impression every time.
Book a free consultation today at drvanceelliott.com.
Allen Olson Auctions presents the annual Camrose Summer Consignment Auction, open right now for online bidding through July 14th at allenolsonauction.com. This huge consignment sale features a totally unreserved retirement dispersal for Jace Craft. Bid on a variety of new and unused equipment in excellent condition, including machinery, lawn and garden tools, skid steers, and attachments. Plus, trucks, construction and farm equipment, buildings, and so much more. For more info, call 780-672-2434 or visit allenolsonauction.com today.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Calling all pizza lovers at Papa John's, get a large one-topping pizza for only $14.99 using promo code L1499 at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
How you doing? Gregor, Halley, Kruger, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Thank you so much for listening and watching the show. Hope you are having an awesome time. It's Monday afternoon. It's beautiful weather. We got All-Star Week and MLB. You've got the semifinal and finals at World Cup. Also, we are starting to see some arbitration cases being avoided, which is usually the case, and it makes sense. Neither side is rarely excited or motivated to get a deal done. Usually when you file for arbitration, it's almost become, well, okay, they're going to get a deal done because now there's some urgency to it. So there you go. And it's the Gregor Show, always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. It's time to go around the NHL, brought to you by McDonald's. And with the heat is on, you want to cool down? Well, you download the McDonald's app and you can get $1 cones only available at McDonald's through the app. Check it out. And one team who avoided arbitration, Peyton Krebs gets a deal. He's going to get 4 years at $4.5 million with the Buffalo Sabres, who have made a fair amount of moves this offseason, wheeling, dealing some trades and other things. And to discuss it, longtime journalist covering the Sabres, Mike Harrington, joins us. Mike, welcome back to the show, my man. How you doing?
Good afternoon. Yeah, it's it's supposed to be a dull, quiet time, but the Sabres making a little news today. You may not even know this. Just came out within an hour. They hired John Davidson as their senior advisor. So that's another experienced hockey name added to their front office. He was with Jarmo Kekalainen, obviously in Columbus. So that's another interesting hire by the Buffalo Sabres. Just came out about an hour ago.
Okay, well, there you go. I hadn't heard about that one. Let's start with the players, and we'll maybe get your thoughts on John in a second. But looking at this offseason, you know what? Now, they had an abundance of goalies. So let's start there. We're in Edmonton. Devin Levi, Mike, we haven't seen a ton of him at the NHL level. Is he just another guy in the goalie voodoo? You're like, man, who knows? Because a lot of times you don't really know if these guys are going to be anything. We've seen it. One year they're good. Next year they're not good. His numbers, though, progressively got worse his 3 years in Buffalo. Granted, he didn't play that much, but what did you make of his time in Buffalo?
Yeah, he's a very cerebral guy. I think he has a legitimate chance to help the Oilers. I think he needed a change of scenery. He kind of got passed over on the depth chart by Colton Ellis. He really jumped right into things out of college 3 years ago. I think he's a classic change of scenery guy. He put his time in the American Hockey League. We've always compared him to Dustin Wolf in Calgary in terms of, physical size, same kind of style, and needing to play 100 or so or more games in the AHL before they break out. So Levi never really had a chance to break out in the NHL. Certainly, a good stab in the dark by the Oilers and see what happens. A lot of teams were interested, knowing he no longer had waiver capability. So a good move, I think, on Edmonton's part.
Yeah, you're right. He never kind of got that consistency where Wolf just started a ton and you find your game. And obviously he went to the NHL and it worked out for him. So now in a 3-goalie system, I'm not sure he's going to get that in Edmonton either. So we'll kind of have to see. The bigger move, of course, was the Bowen Byram trade by the Buffalo Sabres. I actually didn't mind the trade, like Chicago. Hey, you get Bowen Byram. Now the contract is big. I have no doubt about it. I do think he's going to get more opportunity in Chicago because he doesn't have a Rasmus Dahlin to play behind. So he'll be on the number 1 power play unit. But was this simply that Buffalo's like, we just can't pay this guy $12.5 million?
Yeah, and he wasn't going to be a number 1 defenseman with the Buffalo Sabres because of Rasmus Dahlin. Just like he wasn't going to be a number 1 defenseman with the Colorado Avalanche because of Cale Makar. Yep. And he outpriced himself in Buffalo. He played very well, especially in the first round of the playoffs against Boston. Is he worth $12.5 million? No. I feel bad in some ways. I really like the player. I like the person, but he's all about winning. He talks all the time about winning, how tough 24-25 was in Buffalo. And now he's made bank in Chicago, where the only way he's going to see the Stanley Cup playoffs is if he buys a ticket or turns on his TV. So it's an unusual move from that standpoint. He wanted the role. He wanted the money. He got it. Okay. Sabres got Jordan Greenway's contract off their cap, which helped them.
Yeah.
Blackhawks give up the number 4 overall pick. And it was funny. I spent my whole couple of months thinking number 27 pick, cover a winning team. Finally, don't have to worry about the top of the draft. And lo and behold, they trade up to the number 4 pick. So, and get Daxon Rudolph, the interesting WHL defenseman. So it was an interesting couple days there. But yeah, that's a loss. And we'll see, getting Olin Zellweger from Anaheim to kind of fill in the Byram role, Louis Crevier from Chicago, fill out their defense. But, Bowen Byram's going to be a loss for sure.
But their defense, you still got Dahlin, you got Owen Power, Matthias Samuelsson. They went out. Right. Louis Crevier is huge, right? Like Louis Crevier is part of that deal. You get a big body, and they got Olin Zellweger, who they look, I think, to say, hey, this guy can probably fill in some of the offensive side of Byram's game, and Crevier is going to fill in the defensive side.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. Crevier also fills in the size and some of the physicality they didn't get from Logan Stanley in their little dabble with him at the end of the season. Interesting moves there. Poor Anaheim doesn't have much of a defense left. I think they knew what they were dealing with in the near term with Leo Carlson when that offer sheet came down. They knew they probably were going to have to move Zellweger out. I think they anticipated that thing coming. So it helps the Sabres, and we'll see how much Zellweger can develop here as a young guy at a much cheaper contract than Byram got.
What do you make of the Krebs extension today, 4 years at 4.5?
He's a player who's really versatile. He plays all roles. He can play top line. He can play fourth line. Lindy Ruff likes him. They call him the old Swiss Army knife, can do all sorts of things. In 2023, 4 years and 4.5 for Peyton Krebs is eye-popping, and you're wondering what they're doing. And in 2026, with a contract that goes to 2030, where they're getting 2 years of UFA and the money's not a big deal. It's a fine deal for both sides. And I think avoiding arbitration is always a good thing and good deal for both sides.
You look at their four group, the Josh Doan, man, that trade a year later has looked unreal for the Sabres. Yeah. JJ Peterka's moved on since then. I love Doan as a player, character person, all that stuff. He comes in, he's looked really good. Zach Benson, they signed to a big contract of $7.5 million. They've got a lot of their guys, locked up. Zucker isn't, but he's older. I think he'll be 35 when that deal ends. So they seem to have their core now intact. Is there any position or any style of player you think the Sabres still need to add?
Well, I mean, they have too many forwards as it is, but who is replacing Alex Tuch? No one's really replacing Alex Tuch. It's the old Moneyball theory, I guess. They're going to try to replace him in the aggregate. But, Constantine Helenius, young guy, Finnish guy, looked very good at the end of the season in the playoffs, scored the golden goal in the World Championships. That's a huge name for them going forward next year. I still think they're dabbling. The Connor Hellebuyck thing might still be at least lukewarm, but it also wouldn't shock me about their roster being done. Like, where is Patrick Kane going to play on this team? Is it a legitimate question? They have a lot of guys in different roles, so they're always looking. But right now, they got a lot of guys, and I don't know how they're going to break that log jam up.
Now, you mentioned Hellebuyck, and it's lukewarm. To make a deal work, what would be the foundation pieces of it?
Well, that's where I'm stuck, because it was obvious what was happening around draft night, that it would involve Winnipeg getting the number 4 pick. But one of the sticking points was the Jets wouldn't give number 8 back to Buffalo, allegedly. So that really ended the deal. And the other thing is, if you had to trade Winnipeg a goalie and send Luukkonen back at 4.75, well, he had a 5-team no trade clause kick in July 1st.
Yeah.
So if you're Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, aren't you calling your agent at stroke of midnight saying Winnipeg's number 1 on my no trade list now?
Right.
So I'm kind of thinking that's it for that. The money doesn't work if you trade him Alex Lyon. He's only at $1.5 million.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the framework of a deal for Hellebuyck is right now. The Sabres have publicly, been very clear that they're happy going with their 3 goalie rotation again next season. And they were 3rd in the league in the regular season in save percentage. They didn't get as good at goaltending in the playoffs, especially against Montreal at times. But, I say to people, okay, why don't they bring Connor Hellebuyck? Have you looked at Connor Hellebuck's playoff stats the last 3 times he's been in the playoffs? Yeah. I mean, pretty bad for $8.5 million. So that's not an automatic either. Goaltending just is so funky right now. It's like starting pitching. It's like NFL running backs. Who knows? The Carolina Hurricanes just won the Stanley Cup with Brandon Bussey playing the last 3 games. And all power to him. He had a wonderful regular season. He played great in the final, but he's not a big money, big name goalie. A lot of the big money, big name goalies didn't do a whole lot in the 25-26 season. So it's a real iffy thing to do. And I just don't see, with the draft being over, with Luukkonen's no trade, I don't know how you put together a deal for Hellebuyck now.
Mike Harrington joins us to talk about the Buffalo Sabres offseason. Where are you on Owen Power and his development?
He really took a huge step this year. He took another step in the playoffs. We saw the same thing with Dahlin. People forget. Look at the stats. Rasmus Dahlin had a -36. I can't remember. It was either -36 or -38 plus-minus season. And plus-minus can be deceiving, but that was as -36 a season as could be just from the eye test. He was really struggling 3-4 years ago, 21-22 range. Power never got to that level, but he struggled a lot last year, I thought, at times, 24-25. This year, much better, much more confident, tremendous puck mover, uses his body better. Never going to drive people through the end boards. That's not what he's there for. I think they really feel Power is hitting his stride as a marquee NHL defenseman, a guy who can play 23 to 25 minutes a night if you need him, a guy who at times, definitely looks like the number 1 overall pick. That was a huge step-up year for Power. You combine him with Samuelsson, with Dahlin, and you really had something there. Of course, they had Byram too. but it doesn't work without Power really anchoring that second pair, and he took a huge step this past season.
Okay, yeah, because I know there been some rumblings a while in the past. Geez, they're not happy with him, but I was like, geez, I thought this past year he was pretty good. What about Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen and the goals? Because Lyon at times looks like he's the most reliable.
It's interesting. Luukkonen, if you look at the numbers, has had alternating seasons the last 4 years. Bad, good, bad, good. This was a good season. Playoffs, not as good, I didn't think. Inconsistent. He had that center ice goal against Boston by Morgan Geekie. But then he found his equilibrium again in the playoffs at the end against Montreal. And, people crab about the Game 7 overtime goal. It's a deflected shot. You don't want a guy scoring from that spot. It's a deflected shot. It happens. We wouldn't even be having goaltending conversations with the Buffalo Sabres if Montreal's Game 7 overtime was a lovely 2-on-1 tap-in,
Yeah.
But it wasn't. So the goaltending issue crops up. I think this is a complete 100% make or break year for Luukkonen. He needs to put 2 good years in a row together. And if he can't do that, he does earn that unreliable label. If he has a good year this year, I think he's definitely a guy you can run with. If you can get Connor Hellebuyck, and they came close, I think, you probably have to do that. You're trying to win the Stanley Cup, and you were a goal away from the Final Four this year. I don't know if that happens now. And I do think, you can run the long distance of the regular season with the 3 guys they have, but playoffs are a fickle thing at times, as we all know.
Oh God, yeah. Now it'd been a long time, Mike, for Buffalo fans. They've been waiting for it. They got back in. They won a series, went to Game 7 in the second round, which is awesome. But now you got to keep it going, right? Like that's it sounds strange because you missed the playoffs for 14 years. You're like, what are you talking about? It's hard to get in. It is hard to get in, but it's harder to go from being an Elite 8 team to being a Final Four team or to being a Cup final team. And obviously Florida, Montreal, Tampa, Buffalo, even Toronto. It's a pretty good division. How much do you think the Sabres and just if somehow Josh Norris can stay healthy, how big that would be for the team?
Big key is because when he plays, people know his skill. You see his skill. You see the results. His issue has been not being able to stay in the lineup. If you could get 70 games out of Josh Norris, that'd be a huge difference because he's a great player and he really lengthens your lineup. Maybe he plays your number 1 center and Thompson can go out to the wing where Tuck was. So I think that's a really key guy, and that's $7.9 million is a lot of money. You need to get a guy to play 70 games. He hasn't been able to do it, but the talent is there, the drive is there, and they see that, and that's why they acquired him in the first place. So that's a guy they have to get a lot out of going forward, and you just have to see.
Yeah, no, definitely. Mike, always good to catch up with you, man. I appreciate it. Enjoy the summer, and we'll see. We'll be watching the where there's smoke, there's fire, and who knows if Hellebuyck and the Sabres get united, because if it did, that would be a massive move.
Yep. Thanks, Jason. I appreciate it.
Awesome. There you go. That is Mike Harrington. Quick break. We will return. Gregor, Halley, Kruger, the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. I like the Sabres, man. I think they're going to be a playoff team again.
Say hello to Alberta's home for reeling and dealing. With Play Alberta, you can spin into the excitement of popular slots like Cash Eruption and Desert Fantasy. Experience Alberta exclusive games and get in on the action of live dealer tables with all new elevated stakes. However you prefer to play, the fun is ready when you are. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
There's still time to book your tournament at the Ranch Golf and Country Club.
As one of Alberta's top tourney courses, the Ranch makes hosting fun and easy for any group or business. No matter how unique or unusual, they'll accommodate your vision for an event no one will soon forget.
Start planning your tournament today at their beautifully landscaped course on the outskirts of West Edmonton. On-site event coordinators are here to help, but hurry, availability is limited and booking fast.
Visit theranchgolf.com.
It's Dollar Drink Summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees at participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Canada's biggest appliance sale is on now at The Brick. Stay big on top appliance brands throughout the store. Buy more and save more. Up to $1,000 off qualifying appliance packages. Plus, take until 2030 to pay with no interest on appliance OAC with Flexity. If you find a lower advertised price on appliances, The Brick will beat it. And check out deals for the rest of your home, like up to 33% off sofas, love seats, sectionals, and recliners. Some exclusions apply. See you in store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Albertans love to debate the best way to enjoy summer sports.
No. Playing on the field is the best, man.
No way. Watching from the sidelines, way more relaxing.
You're both crazy. Checking out the game from the Bro Zone is where it's at.
But there's one thing every sports fan agrees on.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky.
Wherever you catch the action, load up on Alberta's best beef jerky.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky, because you can't have summer fun with salad. Only available in Leduc.
What's it like to score a winning deal at Car West Leduc? Like raising the cup in your hometown on your birthday. Feel it now at Car West Leduc. Experience a vast, uncompromising selection of top-quality used vehicles with no extra fees. Trucks, sedans, vans, SUVs, and more. Backed by family-run service and top dealer ratings on Google. So when the final siren goes, you go home with a deal you'll never forget. Car West Leduc, 6514 Sparrow Drive, Leduc, or at carwestautosales.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by UL, helping you finish your electrical project. Is their goal from pot lights to electrical panels? The gear you need is at ul.ca or in person at one of their Edmonton area locations. ul.ca, your partners in power.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Right through Monday afternoon, Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Little early CFL action at the Jason Gregor Show at PlayAlberta.ca. Elks at home, kind of like it, but that BC game, it's going to be tough. Now the Elks, you're going to have to go after their defense early. The Elks are kind of playing catch up too much in that game. Their D line is going to want a better game because that was the one game this year where they kind of got out physical. And I can tell you, the players, they were fired up this week. They'll be even more fired up because it's BC, the team that kind of that embarrassed you a little bit this year. So I'm looking forward to Friday night's game. Hopefully it's a bigger crowd. It's Friday night. No reason not to go. Your team's tied for the best record in the league. So get out there, enjoy it. Should be fun. We have some tickets that we will give away to the game as well. Now, let's go in the room, brought to you by Action Electrical. 53 years they've grown and diversified to become one of the most diversified electrical contractors in the province with project, service, testing, and solar divisions. Learn everything that they do at actionelectrical.net. As Kevin Woodley from InGo Magazine and NHL.com joins us. Kev, how you doing?
I'm good. Well, I mean, actually, you know what? Not so much. It's been a tough week around here in Vancouver, obviously, and so yeah, it's last week was a tough one with we lost our sports station. So I'm so glad that I get to join you. But I feel like I'm out of the loop a little bit. Like between Calgary and Vancouver and the stations that closed, I had all these hits, and it's like so there was that constant sort of thinking about the position and what's going on around the league and talking to different people. So I'm just gonna have to lock in on your market now for a little bit, buddy. But it was a tough tough stretch. I know you've been through it. Obviously, I've been through it with several different places over the years. And let's just hope that the people in both markets can come out of it kind of like you guys have with the job you're doing here.
Yeah, well, definitely some friends working at both of those places. And I think we're a great example that, there is a light at the other side of the tunnel, and you get the right partnership with a group like Stingray, and the options are endless. Our numbers are actually bigger now, I think, than they were when we were on 1260, just because of all the digital and everything else and online. And, you and I used to talk on the radio. We didn't look at each other. Now we see each other while we're doing the show. So it's great. We just had Mike Carrington on, and he had an interesting talking about Devin Levi. And they said, a lot of people used to kind of compare him to Dustin Wolf, and, in stature and style a little bit. But said the one thing is Wolf went to the American League and got to play a ton. And Devin Levi's never really done that. He goes, I still think he can be a goaltender, but the thing is now he comes in Edmonton in probably a 3-goalie situation, Kevin. And I don't see how he's going to get enough reps to really improve his game. Do you?
Yeah, it's a fair point. It's the skill is there, right? Like we talked about this. The skill is incredible. I think the comparisons to Wolf based on size and stature are fair, based on skill are also fair. But we talked a little bit about this last week. Like there needs to be an adjustment in terms of how he plays the game. That didn't happen at the American League. You're right. If I'm right on that, it's a much tougher adjustment to make in the National Hockey League, especially if you're not playing, because it's one that requires game reps and taking theories and changes tactically and positionally and making them innate in a game situation. And that's pretty tough to do if you're playing. What are we looking at? Like once every 10 days, once every 2 weeks? Like what? I don't know what this looks like if they're going to run 3 goalies. Does he even play that much? So, it's not ideal. He may not have had like the degree of reps that Dustin Wolf got in the American Hockey League, but he's been down there longer now. And I think there should be enough. The biggest question to me is, was he playing a style of game there that's going to translate, or are there further adjustments needed? And if I am right a little bit, and then there are some subtle or maybe even somewhat significant adjustments needed positionally, that becomes a much tougher thing to do without actual game reps, and a much tougher thing to do and to believe in at the National Hockey League. Because you mentioned, I've talked about this before with Wolf, worked in the American League, came up to the NHL the first few times and didn't fully trust it and felt like, okay, different level of shooter. I've got to do more. I've got to be more assertive, more aggressive positionally, despite the fact that a move away from that is what clicked and took him to another level in the American League. And it wasn't until a couple of times up that he trusted it would work in the NHL too. And that's where you really saw him take off. So there's a case where, the adjustments didn't necessarily click right away in the NHL, and he needed to go back and then come back again and really just sort of go into it and say, I trust this is going to work, and have it work out for a little bit. So yeah, it's not linear. It's not easy. But the talent and the skill makes you believe it's worth taking a chance on giving it a chance to sort of see if it will work.
Okay. And he also talked about Luukkonen and how he's kind of had, which a lot of goalies have done this: bad year, good year, bad year, good year. He's yet to really string together 2 good seasons, and feels like, is it a little bit of a make or break potential for a guy like Luukkonen, that he's got to show that, okay, I can be consistent multiple years in a row?
I mean, that's fair, right? Like volatility in the position. I would suggest that Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen's not the only one, right? Like when we see this around the league, this is the one thing that's really hard to sort of predict right now. The game is changing, and goalies' abilities, until you've done it, you haven't done it. And once you do it once, you got to do it again. Like consistency is so hard when everything changes around you so frequently and so consistently. And honestly, like this is sort of the next step. The step between being a guy who has shown he can do it, and so you believe the potential is there, and a guy who does it year after year after year, which is what makes, we're talking Buffalo. It's what makes Connor Halley so special, right? There's a consistency to his game. Last year, was the first sort of quote unquote down season he had, and it's still, like, by the adjusted numbers, wasn't all that terrible. So, there are different factors. Like with UPL, injuries have been a factor, but that's part of it. Durability is one of the key abilities. So if you can stay durable and stay on top of your game physically, it allows you to stay on top of your game mentally. You're going to have more consistency, but that's been a bit of a struggle for him as well. So I don't disagree with it. I would just say that if it's a criticism, then it's a criticism that applies to all but maybe 5-6 guys in the league. Like, Philip Gustafson in Minnesota, like 1 good year, 1 average year, 1 good year, 1 average year. Like there's a lot of this going around. I don't have a full answer as to why. I think a lot of it is unique circumstances, but consistency is one of the toughest things we've seen at the NHL level to sort of sustain. Even like Ilya Sorokin, best goalie in the world by like such a margin for 3/4 of the season, longer than that. And then in the final 3 weeks, like off a cliff. Just completely off a cliff. Like, how does that happen? Maybe it's workload. Maybe with some of the changes in coaching change. Like, I don't have all the answers to why it happened. But if a guy with that much skill can have trouble being consistent throughout one season, then pulling it off from year to year to year becomes harder and harder. The one thing I will say is I think experience helps. Okay. And so sometimes you get to what you think is the top of the mountain and you think you've got it figured out. And this is a line I've used a lot before with you. This game is constantly evolving. If you aren't constantly evolving with it as a goaltender, you are falling behind. And I do know a lot of guys that the first time, like UPL's first good year, you can think you're there and not stop working, but stop looking for improvement and just sort of settle at the level you're at. And it can be a quick step backwards if you're not constantly trying to find, not chasing change for the sake of change, but staying on top of trends around the game.
Kevin Woodley from In Goal Magazine and NHL.com joins us. So, Kev, you're into the offseason. I know you work out and you see a lot of the goalies that are training in and around the Vancouver area and what they're working on. Is there anything that's kind of caught your eye this year as far as what's kind of the new trend that goalies are working on?
No, not quite there yet. To be honest with you, the trend that I see the most in Vancouver is on the flip side. And that's shooters, right? Like we've got this skate out here, the Kaibo skate, which is run by Justin Rye, who's a skills coach with the Seattle Kraken now, but has run this Kaibo company out here for a while. And this has become like a who's who. And then you've got another skate in North Vancouver run by a coach named Cole Todd, who Macklin Celebrini works with. And like, Jason, this is hotbed stuff. We are starting to see players from around the league. Now, it's not a long list, but I've seen some examples actually seek out the opportunity to come skate, not just with this group, but with Macklin in particular, almost. And I don't want to hyperbole here. I don't want to get carried away. I don't want people to get carried away, but almost to, the Crosby skates in Nova Scotia, like getting invited to come out for a week and spend time there is, sort of considered something that a lot of NHLers pursue and kind of an honor. Like Mark Scheifele was in North Vancouver to skate with Macklin Celebrini a couple of weeks ago. And so, to me, this is a trend. When we talk about goaltending and the volatility and the way it's fallen behind, it is directly the result of players working not just this diligently and this hard, but this specifically on skills. And so when I go out to that skate, and I see Macklin Celebrini, up until recently, Connor Bedard with the shoulder injury, Zach Benson, Alex Tuck comes out. His wife's from the area. He comes out for a week or two every summer and skates with them. But is it like Gage Gonzalez of the Tampa Bay Lightning? There's Kent Johnson of the Columbus Blue Jackets, Luca Cagnoni of the San Jose Sharks. Like it is. They're not all at the Celebrini Bedard level. Word is McKenna's coming out to skate with the group this summer as well. Watching what they work on, man, Jason, like the skill, like for generations, players worked hard in the summer, but it was bigger, stronger, faster. That's what they worked on. They didn't work on this skill. The speed with which these players are darting around the ice through obstacles, like giant sort of foam blocks and all kinds of different obstacles. They skate around and pull and change angles and drag and pull and all these different moves, but it's the pace, it's the mobility east-west, And then it's not just the deceptiveness of the releases, but how quickly it is on and off their sticks. It's unreal. Now, reverse engineer that as a goaltender, because I think that's where we're at now, is the goalie world is trying to figure out, because in a lot of ways, these players are doing what goalies did for 20 years. The goalie union was 20 to 30 years ahead of players.
Yeah.
Players went bigger, stronger, faster. I've been watching this from a goalie perspective in terms of technique for 2 decades plus now, almost 30 years, like back to, I guess, so 25 years, back to early 2000s when Ian Clark would run his skates here. And like NHL players didn't even come out and shoot back then. A couple did, but like it was a short list. Zach Parise would shoot when he was younger on his brother. Marcus Nazem would come out here in Vancouver and shoot and sort of try and figure these things out. But now, then you had all these players that would go out and shoot on goalies, and now they got their own sessions. And so now as goalies, we need to figure it out. And here's the challenge. And I'm starting to hear this from goalies and goalie coaches, because they used to want to be a part of the skates as well, the Kaivo skates. And we've got some guys that are like minor pros just coming up through the ranks drafted that I see at these skates. Some guys are veteran Euro pros. If you spend too much time at these skates, as attractive as it is to be on the receiving end of these shots, it is really hard not to build bad habits, because a lot of them are finishing these looks from areas and places. And as much as they don't need the time and space, because it's all about quick release, they have the time. It is very hard. You can build bad habits, just like we used to talk about shinny. Goalies playing too much shinny in the summer, and how if you didn't cheat, you didn't have a chance. So you could either play it how you would in a game, or you could cheat to have a chance in a shinny environment. If you cheated for long enough time, you're going to inevitably build that as a habit. So these skates can be very tough on goaltenders if they're not dialed in on their details, and if they don't know sort of how to give and take. So how do we solve it? I don't know, because what I'm seeing is a lot of goalies doing a lot of technical work, a lot of the things that they've done for the last 20 or 30 years, and I'm not sure it's getting them ahead. The players have passed us, and I'm not sure I'm seeing the type of work that's going to allow us to catch up. Goalies, a lot of them are still doing the same things they were. Now, the techniques have changed and the focal points have changed, but I'm not sure the way it's being applied at times is dynamic enough. And then in those environments, it's almost too dynamic. I don't know where that yo-yo settles, but goalies have got to figure it out, because we got some catching up to do. Because the stuff I'm seeing from these players right now, Jason, the pace, you've probably seen the videos on Instagram. But it's not just like these are NHL guys going full pace, and the stuff they're doing is just, as a goalie, I'm just glad I'm not in there. Let's put it that way.
All right. That is totally valid. Kevin Woodley from In Goal Magazine and NHL.com joins us. Kev, one last one for you is we've seen most of the goalie movement, unless there's going to be a Hellebuck trade. I'm not sure we're going to see anything substantial. So if you had to sit here and recap it, is there a team where you're like, man, I've really liked what they've done in their goaltending? Like, what did you make of Florida's moves? Is there anybody you've liked or anybody you're concerned with?
Yeah, that's a really good question. It's kind of like I go to the Toronto example, right? Again, the uncertainty. I have all these numbers here, and I can tell you what like this goalie in this environment might look like. And Bob, we talked about it last week. Like there's an element of risk in terms of his regular season numbers coming out of Florida. And yet when I look at the way Toronto handled that, I really like how their depth chart shapes up. And I think that could end up working quite well for them, despite a whole bunch of numbers that are sort of like flashing in the background of my screen saying, hey, I don't know about Bob, but with Stolar's there, with Akhtiamov ready to come up, like I like those moves. Is it possible that the New Jersey Devils are sort of making an addition by a subtraction? Because Jake Allen was a top 6 goaltender by adjusted save percentage in the National Hockey League last year. He wasn't that far behind that 2 years ago. For all the criticism under Jacob Markstrom taking a step back in New Jersey and the criticism of the goalie coach that they fired, the reality is Jake Allen outplayed him by such a significant margin that I struggle to figure out why he didn't play more. And so Jake Allen getting a more prominent role, despite at his age maybe not being a carry the mail guy. And then Nico Daws. Nico Daws has always had NHL potential. Nico Daws makes a lot of difficult saves. And he had, in a tiny 3-game sample last year, some really good adjusted numbers. Now, he had played more before last year, up until that point. And again, I looked at the underlying profile. Tough stuff, difficult saves. Nico Daz is great. But what he was giving up until last season in that tiny samples, I don't know if this has changed, but what he was giving up was a bad goal every 2 games, a low percentage goal every 2 games. And we've talked about what a low percentage goal does to your team and its chances of winning. Like, that's tough. But if he truly did figure something out last year, and again, I keep it stressing, tiny sample, it's only 3 games, where he didn't give up any bad goals in 3 games. If there's more of that guy, we know what his upside is. It's just, can he keep the floor high enough? There's a team that might have a really good tandem where I think a lot of people look at the move they made and wonder, what are they doing here? They got rid of the high profile guy with the big salary and the big resume. The truth is Jacob Markstrom hadn't been as good as Jake Allen for 2 straight seasons. The question becomes, can Nico Dawes do what Jake Allen was doing? And I guess the other part of that is you can never assume that a guy in a 1B role automatically slides into 1A and can do what he was doing in a larger sample. But I'll give you a bit of news around that. I don't think I've discussed this with you. And strangely enough, I don't know that I've seen it announced, or maybe I'm just not following New Jersey Devils social media enough. But I hated the criticism that surrounded, and I've seen it since the Dave Rogalski firing, because I just talked about how good Jake Allen, and I know Jake Allen thinks very highly of Dave Rogalski.
Yeah.
So in the same breath, but I do like the people that they hired. They've got a director of goaltending now. His name is Leo Luongo. It's Roberto's brother. Hired him away from Florida Panthers. Sonny Maeda did. Their new goalie coach is Dan Stewart, who comes out of the St. Louis Blues organization in the American Hockey League. Ironically, the same path they pulled Rogalski from when they hired him in New Jersey out of St. Louis. So maybe some ties to Marty Brodeur and his time there. But Dan Stewart is a guy who, when you look at Joel Hofer, when you look at the track record he's had with some lesser-known goalies in St. Louis coming up through their ranks, and just a guy, there's a bias there. I know him, but when I talk goaltending with him, we've had him on the podcast, I learn a ton. I think that could be a really good fit. I was worried about, ironically, they fire Rogalski. The Devils fans strangely celebrate it. Well, it's kind of like Edmonton fans and Schwartz, but the guy that is now their number 1 or 1A is a guy that loved Dave Rogalski. But I do like the person they brought in to replace him as much as I didn't love the way that move was applied. So there's another team where, could we be looking back at an addition by subtraction when it comes to Jacob Markstrom going to Florida? And then at the same time, Markstrom in a more predictable environment with Rob Tallis, that could work out too. In some ways, these moves all highlight sort of the volatility of it all. Because I'm just saying that Jake Allen passes Jacob Markstrom in New Jersey, and Jacob Markstrom might be just fine with the Florida Panthers in an environment where he's going to be way more insulated than he was in New Jersey, where they had, I believe, 26 defensively high danger chances against 5-on-5 and 25th on when they were killing penalties. So not a good defensive team at all. So a more stable environment for Jacob Markstrom, some things from Robbie Tallis, and you could still see a bounce back from him, but that might be the riskiest move of them all.
Kev, as always, buddy, we appreciate it, my man. Have yourself a great week, and we will chat with you next Monday.
Perfect. Thanks, Jason. And you know what? I'll come up with a list before we go into it, because now that we'll come up with some plans.
Oh, yeah, we got it. We'll have a little plan. Love it. There you go. That's Kevin Woodley from Mingo Magazine at NHL.com. We'll take a quick break. We'll get back to 5 questions. It's the Gregor Show, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is serious about cooling. In fact, we offer multiple ways to cool your home. So you better
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
If you're looking for traditional air conditioning, we got you.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Or ask us about a heat pump to help you heat and cool.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Cool with AC or cool with a heat pump. Cool your home with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Listen up, friends. Operation Pizza is a go at Papa John's. They're introducing new personal pizzas just in time to celebrate the premiere of Toy Story 5. These adventure-sized pies come in new exciting flavors like Sheriff's Roundup, Space Ranger-oni, and Reach for the Pie. Or take your personal pizza to infinity and beyond by creating your own flavor just for you. Order 2 or more with Papa Pairings and get yours for only $9.99 each. New personal pizzas are ready for takeoff. See Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 in theaters June 19th.
Novo Blinds is your home ice advantage for window coverings. Edmonton's own custom manufacturer with over 300 five-star reviews from homeowners, builders, and commercial contractors. Book a free in-home consultation at novoblinds.ca.
Are you looking for safe and reliable transportation solutions for your wedding, corporate retreat, or golf trip? Look no further than Silent Rides, Alberta's premier charter bus company. Whether your group is big or small, Silent Rides has you covered. We offer 3 different sizes of units to cater to your needs, and we provide first-class service at affordable rates. Get your quote today. For more information and to request a quote, contact sales at 877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
Edmonton, the legend has been reimagined. Check out the all-new 2026 Subaru Outback. With Subaru's legendary symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive, impressive cargo versatility, advanced safety technology, and an IIHS top safety pick award or higher for 17 consecutive years, the Outback delivers confidence wherever adventure takes you. Whether it's the daily drive, the mountain getaway, or anything in between, the all-new Outback is built for the journey. Test drive it today at your local Subaru dealer. Welcome to Uncommon.
Your co-op grow team are your local experts because we live here too. Our agronomic specialists stay up to date with the latest research and technology to help support your entire farm operation. As your crops fill and mature, we're here to help you assess crop health, manage pre-harvest applications, and make informed decisions for a successful harvest. Co-op, we're all growing together. Here for your farm, here for your family. Talk to your co-op grow team today.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork, made in Canada, made for Canada, where extreme isn't theoretical. Find your solution at cantork.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.453 as we roll through. Hope you're having an awesome Monday afternoon. Connor Halley is back after some well-deserved time off, and we'll get to 5 questions brought to you by The Brick, where saving you more is what they do at The Brick and thebrick.com. You have a few days left because right now their appliance sale is going on. If you find a lower advertised price on appliances anywhere, The Brick will beat it. You can get $1,000 off qualifying appliance packages. It's their biggest appliance sale right now. Unreal deals. If you need anything appliance-wise, check it out at The Brick and thebrick.com. They have all the brands.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, Jason, question at number 1. We had Colton Dach on the show earlier today. If you're looking at a season up ahead, what do you think it'll look like in terms of games played and goals?
Ooh, that's a good question. Well, I think it kind of, ideally for Doc, he's going to play all 88, right? Like that, or 84, excuse me. But I'll say, games played. I think they're going to give Doc an opportunity here. So I'm going to say Doc plays like 76. There's going to be a few injuries here or there. And if he plays 76, I think he can get 10 goals.
Yeah, I had him a little bit lower in games played. 65 was the number that stood out to me, the career high still. And I had him just below 10. 9 goals. Again, that would be more than he's got in his career so far. So 9 goals. 65 games played for Colton Dach this season. Question number 2 for you. FIFA President Gianni Infantino confirmed that FIFA will discuss expanding the Men's World Cup to 64 teams after the 2026 tournament, saying every nation should have the chance to dream of playing football at the biggest event. Would you welcome this change?
I don't really have a big issue with it. Like, look at some of the countries that are out. Right now, everyone's saying, wow, you couldn't get in. Hey, just because you get in doesn't mean you're going to win. So what it will do is now it makes every bracket, like this year you had top 2 teams in every bracket get in, and then what, 8 third place teams in a bracket get in. So I don't think they'll love that. Now, I'll be curious how they build the brackets. Will it be in tiers? Like, 1 to 16 are going to be in each of their own brackets, 17 to 32. Is that how they're going to do it? Probably should. You don't want 4 teams that are all in the top 32 in the same bracket. That'd be kind of stupid. So I think they got to at least somehow look at it that way. And everybody's going to get in. They're going to get their 3 games. And then 32 teams will move on to the elimination round. Like, I think this was just a progression. And let's not kid ourselves, buddy. Money, money, money. Look how many more games they will play if they add another 16 teams to the tournament.
That's exactly it. The money is going to talk to them. It's going to happen at some point here. And I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. Like, look, Cabo Verde tying Spain.
Yeah.
Like, those things can happen. And that's what makes the game so great. And hey, with this, Italy can probably get back into the World Cup. So I'm sure the Italians will be all for it. Question number 3 for you. World home run derby tonight. If you were looking at a home run derby all time for competitors, which players in Major League Baseball history would have to be in your group?
Yeah, well, just a sec. Like, here's some of the teams who didn't make it, Cons. They're like decent soccer nations: Italy, Poland, Denmark, Cameroon, Nigeria, Ukraine, Hungary. So, half of them are, Wales. Half of them are going to be filled by them, right?
Yeah.
Those are pretty good countries. And so your examples of other teams who had good tournaments, I honestly think it's a world event. It gets more people involved. I don't have, you still got to win your way in, right? Like, when you're in the tournament, you still got to win to get there.
And I mean, like, you looked at like Salah with Egypt or Holland with Norway, like getting those superstars on the playing surface, getting them out there, it's win-win.
Yeah. You go first with your all-stars.
I'm going to go away from maybe, some of the biggest names in history, but I got to have Ken Griffey, the kid, the sweetest swing in baseball. Always going to have Ken Griffey in there. He won it 3 times. Aaron Judge, just for sheer power and a modern player. I'm going to throw Justin Morneau in there because he won it in 2008. It was the most watched home run derby, even though Josh Hamilton was probably
he was the reason.
He was crushing it.
Yeah.
But, when it mattered, Morneau got the job done. Good Canadian guy. And how about Willie Mays as well? So Griffey, Judge, Morneau, Mays. I think I know who's finishing last, but you never know.
Okay. Well, I'm with you. I have to have Ken Griffey Jr. in. Like, there's just there's no reason I can't get him in. Like, he had one of the best swings ever. He was, dynamite. What did he win it 3 times?
Yeah.
So how can I not have him in there? So he would be in for sure. Who else would I want? I'm gonna probably go back a little bit to my time, and I'm gonna take Darryl Strawberry. I just love his long, rangy swing. He could crush balls, for sure. I'm got to go Aaron Judge. And if I'm going just off of ability at the big time, I'm going with Pete Alonso. Like, those guys will hit some monster bombs. I will say, right now, there's no way you could pick him. But when you consider what he did, and I know he didn't win, but Vladdy Guerrero won once, but then him and Jock Peterson, like, when they went head-to-head, and they had not 1, not 2, but 3 swing-offs for him to win 40-39 in that one round alone, that's probably the greatest single round in home run derby history. No question.
Question number 4 for you. Obviously, over the weekend, UFC big event, Max Holloway. Well, he got the win over Conor McGregor. Does McGregor have any more appeal to you at this stage of his career?
Well, if he became an announcer, sure. He does, like, you know what? Could he put together an entertaining fight? Sure. Do I think he could last more than a round? His body looks like it's kind of breaking down, which just sucks for lots of guys. But I don't think the guy hasn't fought for more than a minute and a half in 6 years? So can't do it. You can't live on the past forever, my man.
I'm with you. I mean, geez, he was so charismatic. He could, work the mic as good as anyone my knowledge of the sport. He was dynamic. Now, I don't care. I don't like him off or outside of the ring. I don't care for him in the ring. To me, he just doesn't do it anymore. That being said, if it was free on Netflix, I'd probably throw it on. But no chance I'd be spending money for he. Maybe there's other good, fights on the card that might make it better, but nah, I think I'm okay with not watching him fight anymore. Final question for you: it is Embrace Your Geekiness Day, apparently. So, what would you say is the geekiest thing about you, Gregor?
Go ahead.
I'd probably say my video games.
Okay.
I feel like we're all geeks for something. We're all kind of sports geeks, right? But in history, the nerds love their video games, and I would say I'm probably no different there. Little Red Dead Redemption. I've still been known to go play that one on the old PS5. So probably the video games, I would say.
Is puzzling geeky? Yeah, I would probably have to say I'm into puzzling quite a bit, and my neighbors dropped off one that they didn't even want to try. It's a 1,500 piece, and I'm telling you, Cons, it's been the ultimate test of my character, because I always tell I've coached kids and what's the easiest thing you can do in hockey, and they're like, oh, bad. I'm like, no, quit, because anybody can quit. And I'm telling you, man, this puzzle is hard. It's a field, and there's flowers and the yellow, and they're like a big bunch, and they're all the same. Like, God, it is, dude. Like, I'll get 2 or 3 pieces, and now slowly, obviously, I don't know how many pieces I have left. I think I might be at 20% done, and I don't know how many hours. Like, I just started it, but this easily the slowest moving puzzle I've ever had. No close, but it's a test. So I'm going to say puzzling. I'm right into it. It kind of calms me down. My wife, I think, gets annoyed. Well, she's annoyed by it now, because it's like I got all the pieces on our kitchen table because the frame is so big. It didn't fit. Like, I kind of have a table that's in our living room for 1,000 pieces. It fits fine, but not 1,500. And then I have half in there, but then I have the other half on that other table because there's not room for all the pieces. So yeah, it's puzzling. I guess that would be easily for me right
I like puzzling, but it's not relaxing for me. I get anxious. I don't go to bed in time.
Because I'll get a little frustrated, but I, you know what? I put a timer on, and I just give myself a time, because you're right. You can get frustrated and stay with it the whole time, but I'm like, all right, here I go. And I now I'm just trying to work through different phases, because this green and yellow freaking field, buddy. But it's funny. Like, I'll get irritated by it, but at the same time, it's calming because I'm not on any tech. So and I got to figure it out, and I really have to focus, because now you almost have to look for like different shapes to fit, because the colors are so much the same.
It's flowers, you said?
Yeah. When it's done, I'll show you a picture.
The ocean one that I did got me. The blue, and then like the fish. Yeah. You can categorize it by certain packs of fish. But
yeah.
Testing patience for sure.
Oh, buddy. Test the patience, test your character. 1,000%. I would agree with that. Take a quick break. We'll come. Mark Spector gets to us. We got Tater and more on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Here's a Conman Sports 1440 update, brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. July, it's your month to save. Employee pricing. You pay what they pay, and it's good deals, man. Walk in. You're looking for a truck, Corvette, or talk. You stop in, say hi to Mike and the gang down at NorthgateGM.com.
The Sports 1440 update.
The Buffalo Sabres have hired John Davidson as a senior advisor. He has 20 years of experience working in the front office, including 18 years as the president of hockey operation and stints with St. Louis, Columbus, and the New York Rangers last season with the Jackets. In 2024-2025, the team also signed a restricted free agent Peyton Krebs to a 4-year, $18 million contract. The Edmonton Elks adding American defensive lineman Carmine Bastone to their practice roster. Bastone had mini camp invites from the Chiefs and the Jets after spending 5 seasons at Northwestern University, and the BC Lions have named coach Dennis McKnight as their new special teams coordinator, taking over for Corey McDermott, who was fired on June 28th. And in the majors, all-star festivities getting going tonight. 8 participants meeting in the Home Run Derby, 6 o'clock from Philly. Coming up in hour 4 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Mark Spector of Rogers Sportsnet, and here Cam Tate's 2-minute warning. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
It's the hard jobs that take know-how, expertise, and the right experience. And that's why, time and time again, GS Construction gets the call when it comes to the hard jobs. Underground projects that are genuinely difficult, like deep installs, tough ground conditions, or tight urban sites. So remember, when it's a hard job, the list gets short, and GS Construction is on it. Want to tackle the hard jobs? We're looking for experienced pipe layers and topmen. Visit gsconstruction.ca today.
It's cone season at McDonald's, which means vanilla cones are $1 each plus tax in the McDonald's app all summer long. Soft, creamy, and crunchy. For just $1 each plus tax exclusively in the McDonald's app. App download and registration required at participating McDonald's in Canada.
Canada's biggest appliance sale is on now at The Brick. Save big on top appliance brands throughout the store. Buy more and save more, up to $1,000 off qualifying appliance packages. Plus, take until 2030 to pay with no interest on appliances OAC with Flexity. If you find a lower advertised price on appliances, The Brick will beat it. And check out deals for the rest of your home, like up to 33% off sofas, love seats, sectionals, and recliners. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Your all-access pass to the world of sports is Edmonton's only sports radio station.
From pre- and post-game hockey shows to in-depth analysis from your favorite commentators, the action never stops on Sports 1440.
The big hits. The big kicks. Catch all the action at Selly Sports Bar and Lounge. Never a bad seat in the house with tons of big screens. And Selly's menu. Something for everyone. Plus game day food and drink features. So bring your friends, cheer loud and proud, and join the fun at Selly Sports Bar and Lounge at all 3 Century Casino locations. Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile. Every day is game day at Century Casino.
Does your bank do local? We do. When you bank with Vision Credit Union, you're banking with a rural Albertan cooperative that cares about the community where you live. There's no question. We actively support our rural communities at the local level through charitable donations, volunteerism, local team and event sponsorships, and by returning millions in profit shares to our members every year. Does your bank do that? We do local. Bank with Vision Credit Union. VisionCU.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by 01 Athletic Care, Edmonton's multidisciplinary health clinic at West Edmonton Mall. Physicians, physio, massage, sports psychology, and more. One team, one roof, one plan. Look now at 01.ca. That's ZERONE.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Just after 5 o'clock. Sunny, beautiful Monday afternoon. How you doing? Hey, if you're looking for something to do, a guy needs help, man. I can see he's mentally starting to physically. Cons, we're seeing it. Frustration is stepping in. Our friend Tyler Remchuk is trying to get a hole in one today. 24-hour challenge. He's up to 1,057 swings. And nada. So you think about it, that's, if let's say the average guy, it's like 10 rounds, which isn't crazy, but you're not taking 10 rounds of shots for a chance at a hole in one, because lots of them are putts usually when you're playing, right? Like out of 100, I would guess for most people, probably close to 40 putts. I would think to a hole, and then there's a few 3 putts for the average guy, not more. So it's a struggle for him. He might have hit a crow, is what our sources are telling us. So one hit bird, no hit cups. There you go. Good luck to Ty. Good luck to Ty. He's out there at Cattail today trying to hammer it home. So I haven't even said, what's the distance, Cons? Do you even know what the distance of hole they're playing on? What's he hitting there? Like 150, 160?
Let's take a look into it, but
yeah, you try to find that out. Let's see. But they should have put the odds up at playalberta.ca. Honestly, like, do you think like you'd get one at the first 3 hours? Like, it's hard, man. And I think the longer it goes, well, clearly the longer it goes, the harder it's getting. I don't think it gets easier because you get tired, your hands, everything mentally though. Like mental's like I might just take a break for half an hour to an hour if I was him, man. Walk away, cool down, get a massage, do something because that's a lot of swings, So now I've never had a hole in one, so but I don't golf to get a hole in one. It would be nice, but that's not my motivation at all. I don't know if it is for you, Cons, but I never get out there thinking, hey, I want to get a hole in one today. Like, no. So, hey, do I want to hit the green on a par 3? Yes. Yes, I do. That would be nice. Give myself a chance for birdie. That's always the goal. Let's get to the Spec Report brought to you by GS Construction, your underground infrastructure specialists. And they don't have a lot of holes in one, but they are number one when it comes to underground infrastructure. And if you want to work for them, go to gsconstruction.ca, look up careers. Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet joins us. Spec, how you doing? You've never had a hole in one, have you?
Never had a hole in one. Close like everybody, but never had one.
Okay, there you go. I like that. Colton Dach signs. I talked about this last week. I thought it was getting close. Kind of coming that 1.2 to 1.4 range. Comes in at 1.2. Gets himself a 2-year contract. He was on earlier, and I like his response. He goes, I want to get my game to the point where I can be trusted in more important situations. And I wrote an article today about the power play and all these people who want to take the number 1 unit off and shorten it down. I'm like, no, they've actually scored more goals in the second minute of the power play than they have in the first minute of the power play. It's the best power play in NHL history. That's not where I'm taking McDavid off. It's easier minutes. Take him off the penalty kill and take him off 5-on-5. And I don't know if Dach can get himself into one of the 3 penalty kill units. We'll see. But at least his mindset seems to be in the right place to earn the trust of a coach to get a little bit more ice time in close games.
Yeah, and that's where it's got to come. So that's it. Every young player, every new player to a team, you got to earn the trust of your coach. Coach won't play you if he doesn't trust you. So that's where it starts. That's Matt Savoy did a really good job of that. Remember the first half last season, he wasn't that productive, but the puck wasn't going in his net, and he got lots of ice time. He got to Knobloch gave him, the shifts he needed, and boom, second half of the season, it comes together for him. He has a really good second half. So Dach does. So where's he going to find it, Jason? He's not going to find it in the power play. Dach's not playing a power play. So he's got to find trust first at 5-on-5, of course. And then he's got to work the coaching staff behind the scenes. Say, I want to kill penalties, man. I'd love to kill penalties. Give me a shot, and who knows? That's how fourth liners get their ice time, though, Jay. They get extra ice time on the PK. That's where it's going to come from for him one day. Maybe it's going to happen today. I don't know.
Yeah. So their roster is now set as far as all the players signed. The roster is not set as far as who's going to make it or not. I think there's going to be some interesting debates as far as, who's, they're going to carry 3 goalies unless there's an injury. So that means they're only carrying 13 and 7, or I guess you could go 12 and 8, but I'd be stunned if they did that. There are going to be some veterans who either traded or going to put on waivers. That's just how it works when you look at their roster right now.
Yeah, and we're talking 23 guys. They're carrying 23 guys here. But if you're carrying 3 goalies and you got to carry 7 defensemen, so that's 10, and you got to carry 12 forwards, so we're at 22 now. So if you want 1 extra forward, you're maxing out your roster at 23 all the time. Plane's full, right?
Well, yeah, but they have tons of cap space. They can easily do it. They'd be over 5 cap space.
Right. This team hasn't done that for a while. Saying this morning, I remember them going 19 guys a couple of games here when they had cap issues. So they'll have 23 guys, and there's going to be competition, and that's excellent. Guys are fighting for jobs. They're fighting to get in the lineup. That's what you want. And in the end, Bowman, who we'll talk about a bit, maybe have dinner with him, with one of our listeners. We'll talk about that tomorrow. But Bowman has to figure out, I might like Szymanski more than some other guy, but Szymanski doesn't require waivers. I might like Dach better than some other guy. Is Dach waiver eligible yet? I don't think he is he?
No, he's out of his entry-level contract, so he would be.
He would be now. Okay. And that's going to be a bit of a decision maker. Who can I send down that's not going to get plucked away? So all of those are decisions that the GM makes, the coach makes, and the players hope they make it in their favor.
Yeah, I think. Well, the only guys, if I'm correct, that won't require waivers, Savoy, who's not going down, Howard and Szymanski. Those are the only guys who would be eligible, who don't need waivers.
You think Clattenburg's got a chance of making this team?
Oh yeah, well no, he's another guy, but not with the amount, not to start anyway. I think he'd have to go down and just if works on a skill set, like his hunger and desire, and the one thing that he's good at is he can make an impact in limited minutes.
Yep.
Right. Like he's the Tasmanian devil on every shift, and that can definitely help him. But I don't think he's there just yet. I think Colton Dach is kind of the guy who's a little bit more skilled than him, who takes that role ahead of him.
Yeah, probably. And Clattenburg's got to find a way to do what he does, but he can't fight every game. He can't fight every, no. The only way you change momentum can't be I'm going out there and having a scrap again, right? It's okay to have a scrap once in a while. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But you got to use, you got to pick your spots, and you got to be able to say, I'm not going to go have a fight to change momentum, but I am going to go out and drill their best defenseman if I get a chance, right? And that's how fourth line, like a guy like Doc, right? I'll chuck that puck in Drew Doughty's corner and go in there and run them and get the other team all sour at me. Like that's what you want out of a fourth liner like that. So Clattenburg's going to be that guy one day, but I think you're right. Doc's ahead of him for sure.
Oh God, yeah, and that's not a knock on him. That's just kind of how it's going to be. Now, speaking of it, tomorrow we're going to auction off a kind of unique package here on the show tomorrow for all of you who like to eat and maybe like to golf. So it's kind of two separate. It's a foursome at your golf tournament, which is next Wednesday, but it's also 4 people to have dinner with yourself and Oilers GM Stan Bowman with all the fixings at Vivo Restaurante. And hey, Vivo put you through it, wine, great wine if you want a cocktail, but the food is unreal. And you'll probably do this around September, so to kind of get the GM, you'll have a really good sense of where the GM's head is at to start the season.
Yeah, these are fun. I've been running this tournament. This is our 13th year for the Spectre Golf Classic. For Sports Central. All the money is going to Sports Central. And I've done these now, Jay, with Dave Tippett, started with Todd McClellan, did them with Tippett, did them with Ken Holland, did them with Chris Knobloch, and Stan Bowman has been so kind as to, donate a night of his time. He's going to come out and do it. And it's fun. Like you can, some guys, sometimes people bring their wives. It's 2 couples. And maybe, if Stan's wife's in town, she might come. Who knows? We did that with Chris Knobloch and his wife. And sometimes it's 4 guys. And, you get to sit for 2 hours with the GM of the Edmonton Oilers and ask him any question you want. And I remember a lady looking at Chris Knobloch one day and going, "Why do you play Darnell Nurse so much?" And I thought, wow, man, that is no filter right there. But you know what? It is fun. Like Kenny Holland was so good. He just opened up the door and told you everything he thought, and he was fantastic. All the coaches have been good. So it's good. Good chance for an Oiler fan to have a killer great meal at Vivo's and chat with the GM of the Oilers. Ask him anything you want.
Yeah, so that'll be we'll auction that off tomorrow on the show. So be ready. All the money's going to go to Sports Central, which will be great. The Elks got another win, Spec, and now we set up. They got the BC Lions coming into town on Friday. The only team that's beat them. The Elks defense has been great. Their offense continues to score a lot of points, and now hopefully the crowds start to come back. And Friday, at least right now anyway, the weather looks like it should be pretty good. And I think if it is good, it could easily see the biggest crowd of the year, because it's definitely going to be, I think, the most competitive game on home.
Hey, they've had a good schedule, right? They got Ottawa twice. They got BC twice. What are they, 4-1? So this will be game number 6. The bonus was you went into Winnipeg and beat them. That was probably not one we expected, right? And, they lose 1 to BC and Kelowna, whatever, but they're taking advantage. Like, the time there is going to be a run of games here. I know they beat Montreal as well, which is You know, you beat Winnipeg and Montreal, you're doing something right. They're taking advantage of a good schedule. I'm here to tell you that it works with defense. Like I listened to Hodge, your guest earlier today, and he was talking about where their defense ranks in all these places. And you got a defense like that, you can buy time to wait for your offense to find itself, right? Rankin's been great, but you know, if the offense knows it's not going to be 25-3 at halftime, right? If the defense can keep you there, look at that game against Ottawa. How many fourth quarter points did the Elks score in that game? What was the score after 3, Jay?
16-14.
There you go, right? So, you know, 16 points in 3 quarters they scored. That's not fantastic. But guess what? The defense held you in. The defense let you be patient with your offense. And then the fourth quarter, the Elks offense blows up. Boom, you get to 40 points. It looks like a blowout. It wasn't really a blowout, was it?
Oh, well, it ended up being a blowout for sure. But yeah, Edmonton blew them out in the fourth quarter. It wasn't prior to that. I do think really, you know, Edmonton just took some penalties that allowed Ottawa to keep the game close. But Edmonton was really never in trouble in that game. But it was good to see them kind of blow them out in the fourth quarter. And we'll probably see Joe Robustelli make his Elks debut. He's a full participant in practice today. So, you know what? Obviously, they'll monitor him and see. And if he has no setbacks, he should make his debut. That should make the receiving core only stronger.
Okay, I got a question for you. I heard you talking earlier. Next year, they move the goalpost to the back of the end zone, correct?
Yes, and they shorten the field.
Don't love that. But I'm going to say this. I heard you say that you expect there will still be some returns off of missed field goals next year.
Yeah, unlocked ones. Yeah.
I'm going to say to you, in the NFL, they don't even put guys back there on a field goal, right? Like there's no return man standing under the post.
No, on long ones they do.
Do they? Okay. Yeah. So I guess my question to you would be how often is a CFL special teams coordinator going to put even a return man back there? Why do you even stand outside of what? Outside of 50
you might as well bring everybody up on the line and try to block it. You're right. That would make more sense. But on long ones they do. And with a wider
a long one, what are we talking? Like 50 plus yards, 55 plus? Like how long?
Yeah, because the other ones, if they miss, will just go out of the end zone, right?
That's
so that you
can't
return it anyway. But keep in mind, I know there's been 2 missed field goal returns for touchdowns this year. There was only 2 in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
So I know everybody's in love with that because when they remember it. But this year, you know what? It's a good way to say goodbye to it, but it hasn't happened very much in 5 years.
Hey, listen, it's like I can't argue with anyone who tries to alter the CFL game a little bit and make some changes. The proof is sits in the stands. I watch lots of games and you see the stands, and it's the CFL isn't. I know they got a new TV contract and they're doing some things right, but they can't stand pat. Is my point. The CFL needs to grow and do some changing and make some changes. I don't love the closer we get to American things. I don't love, the post going back. That's an NFL thing. Taking out the 55. That's an NFL thing. Like, what's next, man? Is someone going to tell me we got to play 4 downs here? Like that to me is our identity, 3 down football. So you got to walk that line, Jay. I don't want AAA NFL football. That's not what I want. I want a separate league here.
Yeah, I don't really think it's going to be similar. What's interesting is that in the initial days of the NFL CFL, the field goal, the uprights were actually at the back of the end zone. So it's
the CFL.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Then they made the end zones like 25 yards and moved them up.
So they moved them up. Yeah. But so now they're kind of going back to grassroots. So
what's is the end zone getting smaller here?
I think it gets a bit smaller, yeah.
To 15 yards or something?
Yeah.
So, hey, listen, like I say, I won't cast stones at a league that's trying to gain relevancy here because the CFL has to. But I sure hope they don't turn the NFL. That's all. If they're giving me NFL football, well, hell, I'll watch the NFL then, right? I watch the CFL.
There's lots of different rules. There's no fair catch rule. There's no 4 downs rules. Like so, you have the dimension of you don't even have the same field. You just have the same length, not the same width. So I still think the game will be very different. It's 3 down game. It's not going to be the NFL.
Yep, I'm with you. It's got to stay at 3 downs for me.
Oh, it's never going to 4. Like the commissioner said that. I don't know how many times you have to say it. They're never going to 4 downs. They're not going to do it. So, no.
Okay, I'll trust you on that.
No, well, you watch. In my time here on the station, they're not going to go to 4 downs.
I remember one time I went to, and I'll let you go after this. Remember back in the Fox Puck days? And Bettman was crazy about introducing Americans to hockey, and we were doing all these things for American viewers that didn't have a hot clue what they were watching, and the Canadian viewer was like insulted, right? Because they kind of forgot about us for a while. And they debuted in the old International Hockey League. They went down to Vegas and they tried 4-quarter hockey, and they played 2 games between the Detroit Vipers and the Vegas, whatever they were called. And the deal was Americans are used to 4 quarters, right? Americans couldn't get their head around 3 periods. That's what the sort of the tenor was around this experiment. So I'm working for the National Post, and they sent me down there. I sniffed it out. I found it was happening. I couldn't believe it. There's like no one there covering it. And I watched 2 games of 4-quarter hockey. And on behalf of Canadians, I beat the you-know-what out of that idea for 2 days in a row. Every player on both teams thought it was garbage because most of them were Canadian. And never saw the light of day again. Gone forever.
Yeah, you don't need it. That would, come on.
4-quarter hockey, baby.
Oh. You know what? Hey, there's always some strange ideas. People will come, this is going to be way better. It's just like taking McDavid and Draisaitl and lowering their minutes on the first unit power play.
That's not the place, Jay.
No.
That's
take them
not
off
the
the
place.
PK. Take them off the 5-on-5. Don't take them off the power. Spec, have a good one.
All right, man. Talk to you tomorrow.
There you go. That's Mark Spector. The Spec Report brought to you by GS Construction. And that's right. Tomorrow, if you want to have dinner with Stan Bowman, ask him all your questions. Get set for the year. You're going to know all the inside scoops. You can do that tomorrow. We'll have an auction, as well as you can tee it up at the Spec tournament. So it's kind of a 2-day event for you. The dinner will be later. The golf will be next Wednesday. Return on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Say hello to Alberta's home for reeling and dealing. With Play Alberta, you can spin into the excitement of popular slots like Cash Eruption and Desert Fantasy. Experience Alberta-exclusive games and get in on the action of live dealer tables with all new elevated stakes. However you prefer to play, the fun is ready when you are. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Action Electrical Solar Team is now making a play for sustainability and savings. They're specialists in powering up for a greener future.
That's the strategy, designing and installing high-efficiency solar panels. They're helping homes and businesses combat rising utility costs by harnessing the power of the sun.
A smart move for efficiency and the environment. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Listen up, friends. Operation Pizza is a go at Papa John's. They're introducing new personal pizzas just in time to celebrate the premiere of Toy Story 5. These adventure-sized pies come in new exciting flavors like Sheriff's Roundup, Space Ranger-oni, and Reach for the Pie. Or take your personal pizza to infinity and beyond by creating your own flavor just for you. Order 2 or more with Papa pairings and get yours for only $9.99 each. New personal pizzas are ready for takeoff. See Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 in theaters June 19th.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact, because our team is built on second chances, and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Car shopping sucks. That's right. Going back and forth 100 times just to get a price. Give me your credit card for a test drive. What's all these extra fees? That sounds ridiculous. At Northgate, we do things a little differently. Good deals on new, pre-owned vehicles, good people, and a great selection. Stop in and see us today. 13215 97th Street, or visit us online.
Baseball's got a home run derby tonight.
Northgate country.
Philadelphia, Legacy
I've been
Heating
asking
and
around
Cooling is
all
serious
weekend,
about cooling.
where are
In
the
fact,
horses?
We offer multiple ways to cool your home, so you better.
Well, we both did the maximum amount of nothing.
If you're looking
The
for
home
traditional
run
air
derby.
conditioning, we got
Given
you.
its name, no wonder there's no Major League Baseball team in Kentucky.
Or
2-minute
ask us
warning.
about a heat pump
I'm
to
Cam
help you
Tate.
heat and cool.
Sports 1440.
Cool with AC or cool with a heat pump. Cool your home with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Allen Olson Auctions presents the annual Camrose Summer Consignment Auction open right now for online bidding through July 14th at AllenOlsonAuction.com. This huge consignment sale features a totally unreserved retirement dispersal for Jace Craft. Bid on a variety of new and unused equipment in excellent condition, including machinery, lawn and garden tools, skid steers, and attachments. Plus, trucks, construction and farm equipment, buildings, and so much more. For more info, call 780-672-2434 or visit AllenOlsonAuction.com today.
Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete and septic tanks to blocks, precast water pads, Jersey barriers and aggregates. Farmers, contractors, homeowners. Plan your next project at BashawConcrete.com. Family owned. Over 60 years pouring. Bashaw Concrete Products. Once again, start here. BashawConcrete.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows, locally manufactured and installed. Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. As always, brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. And got lots to discuss on the final half hour of the show. Hey, Greggs, I keep you here. You talk about the power play. Why wouldn't you take McDavid and Draisaitl off and give other guys a chance to score and feel good about their game? From Nick. Well, Nick, simple question. So which three forwards do we think when the season starts, if the first unit's the same, McDavid, Draisaitl, Nugent Hopkins, Hyman, and Bouchard, that's the number one unit. The number two unit, who's it going to be? Podkolzin, Savoy, Wallman, Ekholm. Who's the third forward? Kapanen maybe. Howard if he's here. Okay. So let's go through. So Podkolzin, second most 5-on-5 goals in the team last year. Barely played in the power play. Matt Savoy, as a rookie, scored what? 18 goals, 19 goals. Had some on the power play. He got some power play time on the first unit when Draisaitl went down. Where the Oilers need improvement isn't from their 5th, 6th, or 7th forwards. It's from forwards 8 to 12, and I'm not sure any of those guys are on your second power play unit. So I don't really see that correlation to that thought process. Second of all, even if I put them on there for 30 seconds, are they scoring at the same rate the first unit power play is? No chance. So I'm lowering my odds of scoring in the power play with no guarantee that that's going to equate to them scoring more in 5-on-5. So I'm not doing it. If I'm the coach, I'm not doing it. I'm going to lower their minutes on the penalty kill. I'm going to lower their minutes at 5-on-5. And I'm going to say to the other now, and there's some strategic things I can do. I can look at other guys. If they have a really good shift and it ends with a face-off in the offensive zone, they can stay out. They don't always have to come off the ice. Right? Like there's little things you can do that can bolster them, but just because you get on the power play doesn't mean you're going to score. So that doesn't guarantee your confidence is going to go up. And that's why I would check out the article. It's a good read. Probably biased. I wrote it, but It compares other teams' top guys. Nathan McKinnon played more power play minutes than McDavid, 50 more. He played more 5-on-5 minutes than McDavid. And Colorado still outscored teams 5-on-5. Their depth guys were great. I outlined it. Parker Kelly played a whopping 10 minutes and 23 seconds a night for Colorado. And 5-on-5, he scored 19 goals. Now, it's a great year for him. 19. Andrew Mangiapane, Trent Frederick, Matthias Janmark, Adam Henrique, Curtis Lazar, add all their time together, add all their goals, 19. They just need guys at the bottom to produce more. Parker Kelly wasn't getting infinitely more minutes. He played 10:23. Mangiapane played 12:05. Frederick played 10:51. Henrique played 10:45, not to mention his penalty kill time. So I can't buy that it's only, well, if they get more power play time, no. Give them more, give them a role. Penalty kill, great. McDavid, you're sitting down, you're not on it. Leon, and unless we need a face-off win in the last 10 seconds of a period, you're not on it. No problem. And I love that idea. 5-on-5. Minute extra a game coming off for McDavid. Same with Draisaitl. If you took a minute of each guy's 5-on-5 time off and took their penalty kill time off, McDavid would be a 21-minute-a-night guy and Draisaitl would be 20. That's fine. That's what a lot of top forwards in the NHL are. So that's what I would do. I honestly, I don't even think it's that big of a deal, right? Your players, give them a role. And a lot of guys like, hey, man, I chip in offensively, but I know my role is to be out on the ice in a key face-off. Well, guess what? Then I'm going to do it. I'm not always going to put out my best players for every situation. But they've had that before, and other guys still did produce. Like Podkolzin produced. Savoy produced. Kasperi Kapanen produced in the games he played. So other guys just need to produce. Now, we have to have realistic expectations on what that production is for 5-on-5 goals. If it's 8 to 10, that's great. That's what you're going to look at, right? Because look at Colorado. So, you had McKinnon and Natchez and Lehkonen and Brock Nelson, right? Gabriel Landeskog, Nichushkin. Those guys were all double digits. And then Parker Kelly was a freak at 19. But Jack Drury had 8 goals, 5-on-5. Ross Colton had 7 goals. Victor Olofsson had 8. And then they had a bunch of guys who would split different times, right? Yoel Kiviranta had 3 and 400 in his 40-some games, and Brindley had 5. Well, there's another 8. So that's what we're talking. Like, you just can't have, like, here was the Oilers' 5-on-5 goal production. Now, Mangiapane had 6. He actually, in 52 games, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. He would have been around there. Frederick, 4. He needs to be better. Adam Henrique had 2. Matthias Janmark had 1 in 43 games. Now, Colton Dach had 2 in 8 games, man. That's unreal. That's like double the production on a pace, because that would put him on a 20-game pace, right? Like, or 20-goal pace, excuse me. That's probably not going to happen, right? Curtis Lazar had 4 in 45. He was okay. Max Jones had 3 in 21. He produced, but the guys who played a lot of the year here, they had too many guys with nothing offensively. So that just can't happen. You're going to need guys who can produce, like Josh Szymanski. He didn't score a regular season goal off his stick, right? He had a shot that hit someone else's leg that was going wide of the net, went in, and then he had another one that deflected off the other. Like, he didn't shoot a puck. One other puck hit him in the leg and went in. So now he's a rookie. Not getting mad. I'm just saying, doesn't matter what your position is on the team. They're going to need a few more guys who can contribute 5-on-5. And it doesn't come because those guys aren't going to be on the power play second unit anyway. Podkolzin was on the second unit. It didn't bother him that he didn't play much on the second unit. He crushed it 5-on-5. Crushed it. Same with Savoy. He was really good. I expect good things from him. So now, if you want to give those guys a little bit of time with the first unit here and there and sprinkle some in, I could listen to that. But McDavid, Draisaitl, I'm not lowering their minutes on the power play. Unless you could start drawing more power plays. That would be, to me, that would be the recipe for success for the Edmonton Oilers. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Don't you think if a player's having trouble scoring, if they fail in the power, they would not even be more disappointed from Iron? Well, hey, Iron's a very good point. I agree. This whole theory that, well, more opportunity will guarantee you more success. Not always. Ask Tyler Remchuk and swings for a hole-in-one. Quality over quantity sometimes, boys and girls. It's hard, man. It's hard. So, hey, Greg, you're bang on. This isn't a feelings league. Dave from Stony. You're right, Dave. Right? Like, and like when I point out Colorado, they're the best example. McKinnon and Natchez played more minutes than Draisaitl and McDavid. And by the way, they produced more 5-on-5. And they played more in the power play, but they were brutal. But they played all the minutes. Their depth guys just scored when they got opportunities. That's the difference. But give them more of a role in the penalty kill. Now they've got something. That's the role, and that would be very good to do. So 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We'll take a quick break. Cam Tate joins us next. It's the Gregor Show, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. Presented as always by PlayAlberta.ca.
Kickoff is coming July 17th. Elks, Lions at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. It's Dog Days of Summer presented by ATCO Energy. Bring your pup and watch the game in an exclusive section. Get your tickets at goelks.com/tickets.
Noodle, 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 noodle. Noodle, 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 noodle. Noodle, 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 noodle.
Throw the load down to Oodle Noodle tonight because dine-in is open.
Are you a skilled laborer? All-Star Construction wants to talk to you. A heavy equipment operator with Traco or backhoe experience? All-Star Construction wants to talk to you, too. With work in and around Edmonton for local land developers, All-Star Construction offers year-round employment. Whether it's power, gas, or telecom, developers rely on All-Star Construction to get the job done. So if you're a skilled laborer or a heavy equipment operator with Traco or backhoe experience searching for work, search All-Star Construction on Indeed.
Canada's biggest appliance sale is on now at The Brick. Save big on top appliance brands throughout the store. Buy more and save more. Up to $1,000 off qualifying appliance packages. Plus, take until 2030 to pay with no interest on appliance OAC with Flexity. If you find a lower advertised price on appliances, The Brick will beat it. And check out deals for the rest of your home, like up to 33% off sofas, love seats, sectionals, and recliners. Some exclusions apply. See you in store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Hey, hon, I'm getting expressions and images to frame my hockey card collection in the man cave.
Perfect. I'll come with you and bring our wedding photos. For sports memorabilia and family treasures, think Expressions and Images, your local custom framer since 91. You name it, we frame it.
I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. The goal of every one of the thousands of hair restoration procedures I've performed is a full, natural-looking head of hair. I work directly with my patients for the consultation, the procedure, and the follow-up, so we can achieve the best results possible. When people see what we accomplish, I don't want them to think, "Wow, great hair transplant." I want them to think,
"Wow, great hair."
Go to drvanceelliott.com and contact us today.
Like to score a winning deal at Car West Leduc. Like raising the cup in your hometown on your birthday. Feel it now at Car West Leduc. Experience a vast, uncompromising selection of top-quality used vehicles with no extra fees. Trucks, sedans, vans, SUVs, and more. Backed by family-run service and top dealer ratings on Google. So when the final siren goes, you go home with a deal you'll never forget. Car West Leduc, 6514 Sparrow Drive, Leduc, or at carwestautosales.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by the Druid Irish Pub, Edmonton's favorite soccer home. The Druid Irish Pub is back in the Ice District across from Rogers Place. Watch all the games with 650 Heineken only at the Druid Irish Pub.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
the final countdown as we make our way through Monday afternoon. We've got a lot of other special guests coming up later on this week. Lots more on the green and gold. We'll get to the World Cup, home run derby. I always like watching the home run derby. We'll see who wins tonight. The Jays got a week off, so they're not going to blow any leads, and they're not going to strike out and have infield dribblers with the bases loaded, which has kind of become something that happens too often, I would think, this year for the Toronto Blue Jays. Let's get to Cam Tate's 2-minute warning, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Home of the no payments, no interest for 1 year on your AC unit. Stay cool all summer long. LegacyHeating.ca. Here is the man, the myth, the legend, Cam Tate.
Baseball's got a home run derby tonight. Philadelphia. I've been asking around all weekend, where are the horses? Derby means horses. That's the whole deal. Kentucky Derby, horses, roller derby, skates, elbows, a woman named Ivana Kilya. Home run derby, one guy standing perfectly still, hitting a ball lobbed by his uncle in a golf shirt. That's not a derby. That's batting practice with a DJ. And it wasn't even on TV until the 90s. Before 1991, 2 innings, 5 outs, and get this, you could tie. A tie. Moreover, ever see baseball players were tie to ball game? It's a contest where the entire point is hit ball far. 2 grown men just shrugging like, well, we both did the maximum amount of nothing. Rematch next July. Then in 2000, baseball invented match play. Winner faces the guy who did worst. That's not a bracket. That's bullying with a scoreboard. Gone by 2003, presumably after somebody's therapist got involved. Now the real question. What does winning get you? Bragging rights. That's the entire prize. No bingo, no trophy, no banner, nothing you can put on a shelf. Just the right to say, I did a thing once at Thanksgiving. Meanwhile, it wrecks these guys' swings so bad their second half disappears. Gone. Bobby Abreu hit 41 in 2005, won the whole thing. Then his power vanished like he traded his bat for a participation certificate. They call it the Derby curse. I call it winning a contest that costs you your job. Vlad Guerrero Jr. hit 91 homers in one night in 2019. 91 for bragging rights and a sore shoulder. Meanwhile, the actual Kentucky Derby winner gets roses, a blanket, and a stud career worth millions. Vlad got a pat on the back and a Groupon for Advil. Ladies and gentlemen, the Home Run Derby. Given its name, no wonder there's no Major League Baseball team in Kentucky. 2-minute warning. I'm Cam Tate. Sports 1440.
Con man, you haven't heard the 2-minute warning in a while. What's your thoughts?
You know what? There's also derby used in soccer or football when you have the rivalries across the pond. So another use of the word. I would kind of agree with Cam. Like, I love it for entertainment. You put out some good facts there, though. I mean, to go through, put all that wear and tear on the body, you're swinging, you're trying strictly to knock that ball out of the field. Like, I could see there being some fatigue there, but I'd still want to be in it. I'd still want to win it. I was still fired up when Vlad won it as a Jays fan. When Morneau got the job done, I was happy about it. I like seeing Griffey do it. So I just want you to try ignore the science behind Tater's 2-minute warning on this one and just go enjoy it tonight.
Well, but the difference is there used to not be as long of a break as there is now. So they do the home run derby tonight. Then they sit around. Some of these guys will get, 2 at bats maybe in the game tomorrow, right? Then day off Wednesday. And for the vast majority of the league, it's a day off Thursday. So if you're telling me swinging a home run on Monday is still impacting you on Friday as an elite level athlete, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Now, if you're saying the mechanics might be off, maybe. We'll see. There's guys who have done it and thrived and others who haven't. It kind of varies from guy to guy. So if it was that bad, no players would sign up.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You would look, 3 of MLB's top 4 home run hitters are in it this year. Alvarez is the only guy who isn't. So obviously, you got Caminero and you've got Schwarber, and like Schwarber has a home run swing all year round. I don't know if his swing is going to change that much because of what he's doing tonight. Do you?
I don't think so. I will be interested because Alvarez did decline it, right?
That's my understanding.
Yeah. So now we'll maybe down the stretch we'll see the 4 top home run hitters, see what their progression and.
But did he decline it because
like.
he's banged up? Right, look at Vladdy declined. He got voted into the All-Star game, and he's not going because he wants to rest. So,
which he should.
Yeah. So I'd have to look and see if what Alvarez, what was his reasoning behind it. And you don't have to. You can just say no. I'm not interested. He's not going to give you the full reason because you don't owe anybody. You don't have to do it.
No.
Right.
And I think he said he would be willing to in the future.
Yeah. Well, that's all. Hey.
Just right now.
Yeah.
So maybe there is some
right time. Right. Because there's lots of guys like there's still some prestige about it. Right. Like being the guy and everybody's watching, you're crushing balls. Like, who is somebody going to hit one more than 485 feet tonight?
I hope so. I always hope so.
Yeah. Like I think I'd like to see a real moon bomb tonight. That's what I would like. So, anything like 500 is crazy, but could we see one over 485? I think it's pretty good.
I think it will happen.
Yeah.
Soto in 2021 did 520. Playing in Denver helped. He and Alonso both went over 500, as did Shohei. All three of them. Last year, O'Neal Cruz hit 513.
Yeah. Hey, Greg's golfers swing a club 280 times in 4 days. Are they swinging that much harder than ball players?
How many times do you pound it?
Yeah.
18?
Well, but you don't swing the club 280 times because you're probably shooting in the 70s, right? And you're putting how many of those?
Exactly.
Right. So it's definitely, so we got to get down to how many you hit your driver probably on a PGA tour at most 14 times, but I'm not sure they hit a driver on every par 4 nowadays. Maybe they do, but it'd be at most 14, right? The driver. And then the swinging an iron isn't I don't think as tough as swinging a bat, right? In baseball. I'd probably have to get a science doctor to talk about that. So, but they're different. Everybody has different, skill sets. That's what I'm saying. Like, hey, baseball, I don't think the fatigue is a factor. You do the home run on a Monday, you don't play another real game until like a full game until Friday. Except for I think there's one game on Thursday. I think the Yankees are playing somebody. So, because TV was like, hey, wait a sec, we don't want 2 dark nights, which I get it. So 2 teams each year have to kind of take that one. Way they go. But I guess we'll find out what happens out of the home run derby. Good luck. Enjoy it. We'll find out tomorrow. Did Ty did he get a hole in one, or does he go 0 for 2 years in a row? I hope he doesn't. It's a lot of swings, buddy. That's a lot of swings. On behalf of Connor Halley, Declan Kruger, I'm Jason Gregor. Have yourselves a wonderful Monday. Enjoy the heat. Get outside and embrace it. Let's get to the Con Man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Go Auto. Looking for a vehicle? GoAuto.ca, your best choice to choose color, brands, and more. GoAuto.ca.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
The Buffalo Sabres have hired John Davidson as a senior advisor. Davidson has 20 years of experience in NHL front offices, which included 18 years as president of hockey ops with the Blues, Jackets, and Rangers. The team also signed restricted free agent forward Peyton Krebs to a 4-year contract extension with a cap hit of $4.5 million per season. He had 12 goals, 39 points last season in 82 games. The Edmonton Elks have added defenseman lineman Carmine Barcelona to their practice roster. Barcelona had minicamp invites from the Chiefs and Jets after spending 5 seasons at Northwestern University, while the BC Lions naming veteran coach Dennis McKnight as their new special teams coordinator. The team parted ways with their previous coordinator, Corey McDermott, on June 28th. And in the majors, the All-Star festivities getting going tonight with 8 participants meeting in the Home Run Derby, 6 o'clock from Philadelphia. That'll do it for us here on the Jason Gregor Show. Coming up next, Fox Sports Radio. Live local coverage resumes tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. with Tom Gazzola on Sports 1440 and YouTube Sports 1440.